On Sports 1140, here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
Oh, yeah. What a great Sunday to be a Sacramento sports fan, huh? 49ers suffering that loss that we'll be talking about today. It's weird now because the 49ers, there was a time when the 49ers, they won Super Bowls. They won Super Bowls and Super Bowls and Super Bowls. And now, what are the 49ers? I mean, if you're like 45 years old or younger, what are the 49ers? They lose Super Bowls, real heartbreaking Super Bowls. That's what they do. And, of course, the Kings yesterday falling in Oklahoma City. Kyle Draper had the call, and now he's in Phoenix where the Kings play the Suns tomorrow night. Kyle Draper joining us now. Go ahead, Kyle. Go ahead. Have your fun. Oh, we're not hearing Kyle Draper, at least. There we go. We got you. We got you, Kyle.
You got me now? Can you see me?
I can hear you.
Chat?
Yes.
Can you see me, though? That's the question.
What is that?
You see what I'm wearing,
What is that? Why would... Yeah. Is that a rain poncho you got? What? Why would you wear that today? That has nothing to do with it. Yeah.
I'm representing, baby. We finished just like the Niners this year. Losers. It's okay. There was only one winner in the NFL, and it's all good. And so, yeah, man, what a game.
You watched it with the team, and I guess
was the Eagles in the game, Whitey?
No, they were not. That's kind of that's not the way I would play it. Let me put it that way.
Would be at home crying. Yeah, you know what though? I'll be.
And Scare Man don't win. Come on now, brother. Unlike a lot of these other cats who get television shows after they name, radio shows after they name, as I continue to keep on saying, man, it's politics in this. I don't run from this, brother. I stand on 10 toes.
Yeah, that was
sick.
One. Why would he
call me too? I'm 100% healthy
because he said he's about to cry. He's crying tears after that loss.
No need to.
Niners Nation. Okay. Let me say this though before we get into the game, fellas. I brought this Eagles poncho here, whatever you want to call it, but I also brought my Brock Purdy jersey.
Yeah.
And if the Niners would have won, I would have worn the Brock Purdy jersey on the air today. And so that's what kind of.
Let me see. I got to see proof.
Hold on, bro. Hold up. Give me one.
We got to see proof. We got to see proof, Whitey. Do you believe he had the Purdy with him?
I think I do believe him, but we're having some. It is like a poncho. What is he wearing? It's like an Eagles blanket of some kind. There's the jersey. Yeah, I believed you.
I got this from Mexico.
I would. Yeah, that's
But I was ready, man. I was ready in case the Niners won to bow down to the altar of Brock Purdy. I was ready to eat my words. Now I don't have to say anything. My words, they still ring true. And so I thought it was a great game.
Which words are that?
Man. If we want to get
which words did you say that ring true?
Go back to what we first started. I said this about Brock Purdy. Tremendous quarterback. He's a good quarterback. I'm not going to take anything. But the way you guys were talking about him, putting in the category of Montana, putting him in the category of Brady, I said, do we really think when he lines up with Patrick Mahomes on the other sideline that this is the guy to get it done? And he almost did. It wasn't his fault yesterday. But Patrick Mahomes is special. And so, but guess who else was special? Tom Brady. Joe Montana. And so let's leave Brock Purdy out of the conversation of the all-time greats. People did Brock Purdy a disservice by mentioning those guys in the same sentence as him. Brock Purdy's a fine quarterback. He's going to have a fine career. But what happened this season is criminal what those defenders of Brock Purdy did by mentioning him in the category of those all-time greats.
I don't think that's true. He's certainly not Mahomes. If you're going to criticize Brock Purdy by saying he's not Mahomes. Okay, I think we knew that. Brock Purdy, I thought, played really well at times yesterday. Overall, I thought he had a very good game. He dealt with the pressure really well. They didn't win, but I don't think it was because, well, if they had a special quarterback, they would have won. We could disagree on that, but I thought he played well. I thought the problem for the 49ers, and he bears some of the weight for this, is they didn't take advantage of opportunities to score early in the game. You know, the halftime, we all know they should have probably been up more than 10-3. But here's something that's really stunning to me, Kyle, putting our, back and forth aside. The early mistakes the 49ers made, you had McCaffrey, of all people, fumbling on that first drive where they were really came out crisply. It's like, here they go, like 6 yards, 11 yards, 18-yard pass, 11 yards, 11 yards. Oh, fumble by McCaffrey. Then, all right, they get the ball back, and you got false start, Trent Williams. Then on the next play, holding Trent Williams. It's like, wait a minute. McCaffrey and Trent Williams are killing us. That's not supposed to happen.
You're 100% right about that. I mean, this to start the game the way they did, I was worried. I was like, uh-oh, Niners are about the business. They're controlling the line of scrimmage. But then the errors that they made in that game, and it was the superstars that made errors, the Trent Williams, the CMCs, those are the guys you're supposed to count on. Those are the guys you're supposed to believe in and lead you. And I don't know if the moment was too big. Things happen because Mahomes threw an interception too. It's the Super Bowl. Things happen. But you're right, Whitey. They didn't lose that game in the fourth quarter and then overtime. They lost it in the first half. When Kansas City was only down 10-3 going into the second half, they had to feel good. I didn't see Patrick Mahomes nervous. He wasn't worried. He was cool, calm, and collected all throughout. And I thought the Niners outplayed the Chiefs, especially in that first half, but it didn't really show up on the scoreboard, and I think that's what hurt them.
I thought the 49ers were going to win when, they win at halftime 10-3, and there was that odd feeling, that for 49er fans, little anxiety that, wow, this lead should be bigger, and it's not, and, you may not get a chance to make that up. Then the Chiefs come out, start the second half, and they look terrible. Here that they got together and they reworked their game plan. They come out, look terrible. Mahomes throws an interception on a really bad throw. And when the 49ers made that interception, when Brown intercepted that pass, I thought, 49ers are going to win this game. They're going to go in there and score at least a field goal. They ended up punting when they didn't score there. It was like, okay, this is going to be a slog the rest of the way. They almost pulled it out, but all the credit to the Chiefs, the Chiefs reminded me of the Spurs when the Spurs were winning championships, because when it was time to win the game, the great teams like the Spurs, the Patriots, the Lakers, Magic Johnson, those great teams is like, that's what culture is. It's like, okay, we know what to do. We've done this, and now we're going to win the game.
Right.
And the 49ers had really no answer for that when push came to shove.
No, you're 100% right about that. And that goes back to, what I said just a second ago about Patrick Mahomes. You would think the way the Chiefs offense was being stymied early, the way you were down early 10-0 at one point, down by 10 points at one point, you would think that, time to panic. I never got the sense that Pat Mahomes was pressing, was worried. And that goes to your point. The greats, they have a way when it's time to elevate their game in those two drives, the end of regulation and then the end of overtime. Those are two of the greatest drives we've seen in NFL history in terms of being clutch. And I'm thinking to myself, man, they got to march down the field. They got to, go through this Niners defense. But the one guy that could do it, the one guy that's currently in the NFL that you don't bet against in those situations is Patrick Mahomes. And so we could talk about the Niners losing this game, the muffed punt, special teams, the fumbles, the penalties, whatever. But I got to give the Chiefs a lot of credit, man.
Oh, yeah. No question about that. Absolutely no question.
That defense played extremely well. It's fantastic. The defense kept them in that game until Patrick Mahomes and the offense got going late.
Yeah. It's interesting because, the 49ers, their first possession of overtime, had a chance to score touchdown. But then on that fateful third down play, had Jones unblocked somehow. And Purdy knows where he's got to throw the ball. He knows Jennings is going to get out there, but he just had to hurry it, and it's incomplete. They kick the field goal. And after the game, Purdy says, we just didn't want to kick a field goal and give Patrick Mahomes a chance to march downfield and win the game with a touchdown. And that's exactly what happened. So they knew it was coming. It's funny talking about Mahomes and it's exactly what happened. The way that Mahomes and the Chiefs have been together through all this. Brock Purdy is, and this is not a criticism, but he's only in his, this is his second year, and he's playing on a team with all these veterans. So they've been in some big games, but he hasn't been in that many of them with them. So, they didn't have that same – he played well, but it wasn't a matter of Brock going over to Kyle Shanahan, and going, okay, remember what we did last year in the Super Bowl, any of that. So they're not quite on the same timeline. If Brock Purdy had only been the 49ers quarterback in 2019 – then I think we would have had quite a game yesterday. But, we had quite a game as it was. We both wished for a close game, and we definitely got that.
We got it. And, you're right, because it looked like to me Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, they've been there, done that. We can get on Kyle Shanahan. This isn't his first Super Bowl. What was his excuse? Some of the calls he made. I thought right from the opening kick, I thought they won the toss. So I'm like, how are they getting the ball? Did I miss something on that, Whitey?
They lost the toss.
I thought the Niners won the toss, and I'm like, oh, and Niners fans in the building, they were excited. Oh, we're going to, kick, and this is what we do. And then they took the ball. Did I miss that?
Yeah, they lost the toss.
Yeah, they lost the toss to start the game.
Yeah, Fred Warner called tails, and it was heads.
So that's what happened there. They did win They lost the toss to start the game. They won the toss in overtime. And a lot of people are critical of Shanahan. And I'll tell you what, my prediction is that at some point this week, a couple days from now, some talking head somewhere, some idiot's going to say, I don't think Kyle Shanahan knew the rules of the overtime. A former coach told me Kyle Shanahan doesn't know the rules. Kyle Shanahan knew the rules. The team didn't, which is something I know we'll talk about. And that was a controversial decision, but Kyle apparently wanted the ball the third time. We're going to score. They're going to score. Then we want the ball back. So that was his thinking there. But as far as, the start of the game, they did lose the toss there. So we can criticize them for many things, but not for that.
Okay. I tell you what, and we're going to get into the Super Bowl. My viewing experience was not ideal, fellas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hanging with the team. We're all in this, like this bar area. We had the upper floor, and guess what happened? The signal went out. We had direct TV, and the signal went out as we're all watching the game. Yes. They had snow and storms in Oklahoma, so people started pulling out their iPhones, their iPads. We're watching it on that, and then ultimately they got it back up. They streamed it through somebody's iPad, and so through somebody's laptop. So my viewing experience, I'll admit, was not great, and I couldn't go back to the hotel room, guys. I couldn't go back to the room because the signal was out in the room as well. And so as great as the game was, the viewing experience, it was pretty awful.
All right. So, anything you say bad about the Niners, I'm just going to say, you didn't even see the game.
Watch it.
You didn't see the game. Right?
You didn't even see it, Drapes?
Yeah. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, we got some Drapes takes on, I don't know if it's going to be Kings yesterday, the Super Bowl commercials, or all that. What he did see of it, that's next year. Drapes in Phoenix today. Whitey here in Sacramento. It's the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis. Put the frosting on the cake. Put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush. Makes it 114-106.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got good news. The American Energy Heat and Air $0 HVAC diagnostic has been extended to February 29th. That's right. It expired at the end of January, but want to give you all an opportunity who missed out to get in. It's a $99 value. All right, it's $100, and right now it's free. I don't know how much easier I can pitch that. Normally $100, now $0. Let the American Energy team test your system, your connections, and all the moving parts of that system to make sure it's functioning properly. And you know who's going to be coming to your home? A group of people that have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. A group of folks that have been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. $0 HVAC diagnostic. Normally a $100 value right now at American Energy Heat and Air. Go to AmericanEnergyAir.com or call them to make your appointment. 916-520-9990.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Well, that was a tough loss for the 49ers. I have to give credit to Jay. Jay, who I was worried about you, brother, and it sounds like you're doing okay with it. I know you wanted the 49ers to win, but sounds like you're not going to let it ruin your life.
No. Unfortunately, they took the loss. And the great part about it is that I think you guys know me enough, and hopefully the listeners know me enough that when I dish it enough to the point I'm going to take it, right? And I'm going to stand here and let Drapes get it off with the poncho, even though it's an Eagle situation. I mean, I would rather see the Chiefs at this point. Matter of fact, I would have rather him come in with a Detroit Lions poncho than the Philadelphia Eagles. But the other part of it too, man, is this. We've all played sports. You guys have had opportunities to coach sports. There's only one winner, right?
Yep.
There's always other losers. And unfortunately, at this point, when it comes to the 49ers, the luck just isn't on the 49ers side. And I thought, just in a brief, description, I thought the 49ers played pretty well. I thought offensively, there was a few things. For me, I thought Shanahan didn't really help them a lot. I also think their stars didn't have good games. You guys touched on the Trent Williams situation. The other part of it, too, I thought McCaffrey had tired legs. I thought Shanahan didn't go to Elijah Mitchell and Mason, which he hasn't been doing all year anyway. And then the other part of it is I really thought, and this is going to spring the ears to one of our favorite callers, TC, I thought Shanahan had a terrible play calling game.
Did you?
Yet again, man. I really didn't. I didn't think he gave any opportunity and help to Purdy along with some. Yeah, I did, Drapes, because there were opportunities where 2nd and 2, and you could see, and of course, now I was there. I was blessed to be there. So I could see the whole field. I could see some of the players. I saw a lot of the Chiefs' hands on hips very early, and he was not. He was giving them a leash to continue. They had an opportunity to put Pat Mahomes away. Let me say this too. Pat Mahomes had a good day. He didn't have a great day.
Right.
He had a good drive when it counted.
Jay, he made some big plays.
No, boy, hold on. No. Oh, go ahead, Drapes. Go ahead. He had good drives sometimes when they counted. Go ahead, Drapes.
That was an all-time great performance that we saw
by
from
Pat Mahomes
yesterday.
The whole game, encompassing the whole game.
I don't need 400 yards. I don't need.
Yes, you do. When it comes to Purdy, you do.
That's what I want from my quarterbacks, Jay. And Patrick Mahomes led them on multiple drives that they needed to have, and he got the job done.
But that wasn't an all-time. Like, we're not going down in history to say he had a fantastic all-time game. Like, if you believe that was an all-time game, then that's the short end of an all-time game stick. He didn't go out there and perform to the greatest of his ability. He was shut down in many ways, yet again, like the 49ers did back in 19. He didn't. I mean, he had a drive when it counted. I give you that. But as far as the whole game, it wasn't like he was out there operating and cutting them up.
And Jay, that's what really hurts from the 49ers standpoint. They've played the Chiefs twice now. Neither time have they seen the full Mahomes.
Yeah.
And he's beaten them twice anyway.
Absolutely.
That's frustrating.
But this is the thing. He got away with the duck that was over Jair Brown's head. Like, that's not skill. That's luck. That's not having a great game. If Purdy would have did that, man, people were throwing their hands left and right. Any other quarterback does that, we're going crazy. So that's my thing is, if we're going to call a spade, let's call a spade a spade. Pat Mahomes had a good game. Purdy had a good game. Pat Mahomes scored a touchdown. Purdy scored a field goal. That's the difference. Pat Mahomes didn't come out here running around doing electric stuff. He wasn't making plays. He wasn't doing all that. Come on, Drape. Stop that. Come on, man. He didn't have a fantastic
was
game.
Clutch, though. He was clutch.
Yeah.
Was that an all-time clutch performance, though?
A drive. I give you the drive was clutch.
He won a Super Bowl. He made big plays when he needed to win a Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
I think that's saying that's pretty good.
Yeah. He didn't have an all-time great. Like, he didn't throw for 350. Nick Foles had an all-time great game. We're talking about that's an all-time a rabbit out the hat. 400 and some odd yards, outdueled Tom Brady, threw for 4 TDs, made all the play. Like, Pat Mahomes was looking very regular at plenty of times during the game.
Guys, look at the last 3 Kansas City drives. 11 plays, 64 yards. No, I'm going to go back before that. 12 plays, 69 yards. 11 plays, 64 yards. 13 plays, 75 yards. That's an all-time great performance when you needed it the most. Those were huge drives, and he orchestrated those. It wasn't like the Niners rolled over and gave it to him, or as a 5-yard slant that they took it for 80. He marched them down the final 3 drives when they needed plays to be made. He made the plays.
He did. I'm with you. I don't call it all-time great performance, but he won a Super Bowl.
Right.
I think that's
he had a good performance, and he had a good clutch.
Right. I got no issues with that. I thought both defenses got a little worn out, didn't you guys? I mean, on both sides down the stretch.
Yeah, okay. Rightfully so. I mean, I thought, like you said, the line of scrimmage, both teams were able to exploit that. I thought, in that late fourth quarter in overtime as well. And that may have went into Kyle Shanahan's decision to take the ball to start over.
Yeah,
I think so.
That people are crucifying him for, and I know we'll get into that, but you can't ask for much more from the defense. What it's worth, played pretty well yesterday.
Yeah, they did. I will say, there was a couple times I agree with you, Whitey, and it sounds like you agree with this. I do, Drapes. I do believe them taking the ball first, even though Shanahan said, look, I want the ball third, and we found out they didn't have all the rules, I guess figured out. That's what they said. But I also thought, and I said this to Emil, our 49ers insider, who was sitting next to me, when they got when they won the coin toss, I said, I think the Niners defense is gassed because they had just come off the field trying to stop Mahomes when they scored the field goal. The other thing I also thought too was there were a couple times, and you could see in the beginning of the game, which surprised me a lot. The Niners were actually matching what the Chiefs were doing. Once Greenlaw went out, Oren Burks would come in, Flanagan Fowles would come in for first down, and then they would go to Logan Ryan for the nickel package, which let me know they were playing man quite a bit. I thought in the third and fourth quarter, especially in the fourth quarter, Wilkes went back to the zone, and they went to a zone 3, and it wasn't even over the top, kind of like what you see Seattle or a lot of the Baltimore Ravens run. I thought they went to zone 4, which is 2 deep high safety guys. And you would see the corners. I'm looking at the corner. I'll give you an example. 2nd and 22, right? In the fourth quarter, Shavarius and Demo and Logan Ryan were all playing 10 yards off. They got a 10-yard, it was an exact 10-yard slant to, I can't remember who it was. And it was 3rd and 12. If you play that normal, we're looking at 3rd and 17. That's a little different. And then they threw the pass to Travis Kelce.
It's really interesting, Jay, to your point, and I think it was the fourth quarter. There was a play you probably wouldn't remember. I just remember it because Tony Romo commented on it. And the Chiefs were getting ready to snap the ball, and I think it was a crucial 3rd down, and the 49ers called timeout. And Romo said, Kyle Shanahan called that timeout because they're in cover 0, and he didn't want them to be in cover 0. And he told Steve Wilkes, nope, you give me something else.
Yeah, go back to that prevent, that zone stuff. Yeah. There was another time, too, Drapes, before you jump on, where it was 3rd and 2, because they were going to the east side. Yeah, so they were going to the west side of the stadium. So that would have been third quarter. And you seen the 49ers switch from zone. You could see Fred Warner pointing out to Warren Burks, like, go there, move to the left, go that way towards McCole Hardman and them. And you could tell they went from zone to man, and Pat Willis caught them. And they got a first down. And that has nothing to do with not Pat Willis. That has nothing to do with Pat Mahomes. That's the 49ers error. And all they did was throw a handoff, and that was it. And so that's what I'm saying is, like, he was clutch when it happened. Purdy was clutch when it happened. He took him down there. They just didn't score a touchdown. I just thought the 49ers played a little more scared and preventive, which we've been arguing all year. And Shanahan, which was crazy in the first half, he went for it on fourth down, and he started to get a little bit shaky where it's like, okay, I don't want to blow it again, and you could see it.
But couldn't you see why defensively they might have been a little more conservative when they were down? Dre Greenlaw getting hurt. That was huge, and that's football.
Come on, man. How's that football, Whitey?
Well, no.
Trace, real quick, though. Like, not to cut you off, Whitey.
Guys get hurt.
How does it? But he's not even playing.
What?
He wasn't even playing. He was jogging onto the field.
Well,
how does the injuries happen that way?
Yeah. That was a freak injury.
Yeah.
That was a freak injury.
Right. I know that. Are you saying it was the turf?
I don't know what it was.
All I'm saying is I understand why they were more conservative defensively without Dre Greenlaw. That's all I'm saying. When I say that's football, I mean, you have to play without your guys sometimes. As far as how he got hurt running on the field, that I couldn't tell you. That was a strange one. Don't know about that one. Let's take a timeout. We'll get back to Kyle Draper, and we're having some issues with Kyle's connection. We're getting to work on that. Thanks for your patience, Kyle. Thank you, dear listener, for your patience. We'll be right back with Shanahan's overtime decision. Did that doom the 49ers? As we roll on here, Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Are you stressing about your IRS tax problems? Have you received notices from the IRS threatening to garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, or seize your property? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has tax attorneys and enrolled agents that are ready to fight for you. They have saved millions for taxpayers just like you. Allies Tax Relief can help put a stop to IRS collections and, most importantly, negotiate your tax debt. Here's Brenda, a happy client of Allies Tax Relief.
I owed the IRS around $57,000, and they're about to start garnishing my paychecks. I heard a commercial on the radio about Allies Tax Relief, so I thought I'd give them a call. After a day, they were able to at least stop the garnishments, and after a few months of negotiations, I walked away owing the IRS only $301.
If you owe the IRS, call Allies Tax Relief right now for your free consultation. Call 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174. That's 800-230-5174.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Start your 2024 grilling season right with a new lifetime warranty Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. My personal Napoleon P500 series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro. It's incredible. Napoleon Prestige grills, versatile grilling for every occasion. Form, function, and luxury can come in the same package. Just go to your local Green Acres Nursery and Supply for the best selection today, or visit Napoleon.com for a dealer near you.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications, like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, get a free T-check and free exam. Book your appointment today at Revive Sacramento. We know we can help you. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Welcome to the President's Day sale, happening now at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Celebrate with us and get huge savings on our giant selection. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. Stocktonhonda.com. #1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's Old Report.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let's fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $67. Plumbing, sewer, electric, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
When accidents turn life upside down, AutoAccident.com is in your corner. Compassionate advice, loyal support, and the courage to fight for you. AutoAccident.com. That's AutoAccident.com.
It was 1879 when the first President's Day was established, and it's been a holiday ever since. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. I'm guessing when the Keys family opened the first Naturewood Home Furnishing store in 1948, a President's Day sale was not top of the mind. But the family probably celebrated the holiday with a picnic and a big slice of cherry pie. The store name Naturewood was selected to reflect the quality of the wood furniture for sale. And that focus on quality continues today with brands like FlexSteel, Trailway, Stickley, Fusion Designs, Stanton, and many, many more. The Naturewood Home Furnishings President's Day sale is the perfect time for you to find the right accent piece for your living room, a new bed for your bedroom, or to completely refurnish your entire home. See all the fine furniture and accessories on sale with Naturewood's President's Day sale. Find that perfect piece of furniture that's new today and filled with memories for tomorrow. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Your new home for 49ers football in the 916 Sactown Sports.
Kyle Draper is in Phoenix, and Kyle just arrived there about 2 hours ago, so we're working on his connection. Nothing he could do. He literally just got to Phoenix, so we'll get him back on there as soon as possible. Kind of a coincidence that we have a bad connection with a guy who's been bad-mouthing the 49ers all year, but that's just, I don't know. It's just the way it goes, Jay. Jay was in Vegas yesterday, so I know that had to sting actually seeing it happen. How about like the halftime show and just the atmosphere surrounding the game yesterday, Jay?
Yeah, I thought it was buzzing, brother. I mean, there were opportunities. And I'll say this, when we got into, I got in Tuesday night. I think I was the last one of the Sac Sports 1140 crew to land. My Uber, the first person, I was like, hey, has it been busy or whatever? And I looked at the price, and it wasn't too extreme. And so it's like, has it been busy? I was like, no, it's been pretty slow, the norm for Las Vegas.
Tuesday?
That was Tuesday evening, And so, of course, as we know, you've been to multiple radio rows and, of course, Super Bowls. It gets a lot busier at the end of the week.
Ramps up, yeah.
But I thought Wednesday was a telltale sign where, this is a little more busier than normal. And then it just progressed over, of course, the next 3 or 4 days. But kicking back to yesterday, just buzzing around the arena. And, have you been to Allegiant yet?
No.
Yeah, opportunity.
Have not.
It sits on the west side of the freeway, opposite of the Strip and of the 15, of course. And where it's at, it's pretty much like you can get to Allegiant 18 ways, back streets, small streets. All of the streets packed jammed. Look like Mardi Gras. You see the so much red because the Chiefs and the 49ers both float in the red. But, of course, you see all of, just like Draper, you see the ponchos of the Eagles and the Lions and all those different teams. But I thought it was just packed jam compared to some of the other Super Bowls I've been able to attend. But I really thought it was a lot of foot presence around the arena, more than I've ever seen for a Super Bowl.
Do you think maybe it was kind of a late arriving crowd for the whole event because so many of them came from closer to Vegas?
Truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think more than ever, Vegas is expensive in its own right. And when you put the Super Bowl there, you could see the prices of everything up. I mean, between parties, watch parties, all these different, hotels and everything. So it makes a lot more sense for me to come in and knock out 48 hours compared to the rest of the week. Unlike where other Super Bowls, I feel like I've seen people there for the week, Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So Manny, wondering on the YouTube chat, what happened to Drapes? We're trying to get a better connection with Drapes, so we'll get him on. Kyle, not Kyle, but Jay says we have to have Drapes on today because he's earned his time to crow a little bit. I don't know about that, but that's fair. It does make some sense.
He has to, though, right?
No, when he comes in wearing an Eagles, I looked it up. That thing's called like a serape or a horongo.
Yes.
Where do you? What do you think other Eagle fans would think of him if he showed up in an Eagles serape?
Nothing. Huh? I think they would love it. Fly, Eagles, fly. Yeah. I mean, you know how it goes. If you have that one exclusive piece that nobody else have, you're the man.
I guess. To me, it smacks of, I got to get something with the Eagles on it. Is that all you have? Is a serape? See, that's all we have. I'm sorry. All right. All right. Give
so you want to see a hoodie, a T-shirt, or a jersey? That's what you asked.
I think it makes his ridiculous stance even more ridiculous, but that's fine. It's true. As you say, it's unique. Haven't seen anything quite like that. Do you think, Jay, and did you feel it some? I know we touched on this already.
Mm-hmm.
When Kyle Shanahan wins the coin toss in overtime and decides we want the ball first, do you think that that doomed the 49ers? Andy Reid said he's a smart guy. He must have had a reason. There was a guy, Mike Sando, writing in The Athletic, said a former coach texted him and said, that is a big mistake. I don't know. What did you think of that?
It's kind of like the college. You know, I'm a huge college football guy, Whitey. It's the OT type of situation with the college football. Do you want to, set the precedent, or do you want to know what you have to answer to? I thought it was uncharacteristic of Kyle, because Kyle normally plays it safe, and we know he always defers 100%. But it didn't bother me because, again, I thought the defense looked gassed and they needed a little time and opportunity. And the other point of it too, and this goes for the whole game, you can mark these words for the whole game. I truly thought the 49ers were one touchdown away from putting the Chiefs away at any point in time during the game.
Mm-hmm.
Truly. And I know we could talk about the extra point. We're going to talk about that guaranteed today. I know we could talk about the defense. I thought the 49ers had every opportunity to score a touchdown. And even on the last drive in overtime, where they went right back to the third down play, they hit Jawan Jennings earlier in the game, and he was wide open. And as you said, the right side of the offense, you see Buford kick out, you see McKivitz, and it just didn't, it didn't finish where it needed to go, and he had to float the ball. But it was the perfect call. They just didn't execute it.
Mm-hmm.
I truly thought, and I say all that to say this, I appreciate the fact that he was aggressive, unlike a lot of times we see with Shanahan. I thought he was passive in a lot of times where it's like, come on, Kyle, if we're going to coach it like that, just coach the whole game that way.
Yeah, I thought it made sense on a number of fronts. As you said earlier, the defense was tired. So you get the ball. If you score a touchdown, you're in great shape, because then even if they score, then all you need is a field goal. You get the ball third. I understand that thinking. We wanted to be the team. This is what he said. We wanted to be the team that got the ball for that third possession of the overtime, because then you have a chance to win the game. Didn't work out, but it made sense to me. And I don't, when I look at the reasons why the 49ers lost that game, that's not even on my list. Well, they decided to take the ball and start overtime. That's nowhere near my list.
I'm with you. I don't think that really played a part in it. I think if anything, it kind of assisted in what they were trying to do. If they score a touchdown there, man, I continue to keep on saying, I thought the Chiefs, they didn't have enough in the tank. You could see it. You could see it, man. I'm sitting there looking, and I'm telling them, man, I'm like, man, these guys are one touchdown away from really putting the Chiefs away.
Mm-hmm.
They had them on their heels in many opportunities. And I just thought Kyle called, he again, there was aggressiveness in certain instances where you didn't expect it. And then there was passiveness where I'm like, oh, okay, Kyle, I've seen him do something different, and he kind of relented on some of that.
And, you mentioned the missed extra point, and not to get too caught up in the numbers, but you could argue that might not have even hurt them at all. We'll never know. But because if you make that, you're up 4, Chiefs go down, they're probably not going to kick a field goal. They were going to try to score a touchdown, I would think. If they'd scored the touchdown, you'd have been in worse shape. We'll just never know. But given the math of that, the Chiefs then, their next 2 possessions, they went for field goals. They would have gone for a touchdown at least one of those times.
Right.
And if they would have gotten it, the game wouldn't even have gone to overtime. So, yeah, that was a blunder, no question. It was such a low kick, but I don't think that was a factor either. And then Moody, those other 2 kicks, my goodness, he even held the record for the longest Super Bowl field goal for about 45 seconds.
Right. Moody, you can't blame a kicker for missing an extra point. That's on the blockers.
It was pretty low, though, I thought.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
Block somebody.
Uh-huh.
You shouldn't even be that close.
That was a problem a couple times yesterday.
Yes, a few times. I mean, and especially offensive line. I thought Purdy had opportunity to hit a few people that he couldn't because he didn't have time. And we've seen this, though, Whitey. We've been talking about this. It hasn't been in the forefront because it's just been Purdy. Is Shanahan going to, is he going to let it slip? But the offensive line for the 49ers in pass protection, they haven't been the best all season, to be honest.
You're right. You're right. They've been pretty good to really good when it comes to run blocking, but pass protection, not so great.
Trent was getting worked, man.
That was one of the keys yesterday.
Yes, Trent was getting worked a few times. I thought Aaron Banks had a better game than that. I'm like, come on, Trent.
Yeah.
What's going on? I mean, just getting worked a few times on that side.
That, to me, was one of the most impressive things about Purdy's game, given how much pressure he was under. He limited sacks, and he never threw an interception.
He played a good game.
He did.
He played a good.
Yeah.
I don't want to say he matched Patrick Mahomes because he lost.
Right.
And again, greatness happens when great players do things. I get it. He had every opportunity. He didn't get it done. You got to give Pat Mahomes the love. But I truly think Purdy played a pretty good game. Not a great game. Thought he played a good game. Hence, same thing. I think Pat Mahomes played a good game. I don't think he played a great game. I just think he made one more play than Brock Purdy. And I don't put it on Purdy as not making that play. I think there were some moving parts to it, of course, because we're talking about 11 men on the field. I think Pat Mahomes had a little more time than Purdy to make the play.
Yep. And I thought one of the things that hurt the 49ers, especially in the second half, the Chiefs played a lot more man-to-man.
Yes.
And when they played zone and Spagnuolo, maybe he's just being nice. He said, Purdy is better than I thought at playing against a zone. Purdy knows in the zone, he knows where he's going to throw the ball before the snap. I think. Man-to-man, obviously, you don't know that. And the 49ers receivers, as gifted as they are, they're not especially fleet of foot. They're bigger and rangier, which is great after the catch. But as far as getting separation, I thought that at times was an issue yesterday. And that's one of the things. That's one of the reasons Purdy was back there. And he just had nowhere to throw the ball. Plus, he was under duress. They made up for it. They figured a few things out, attacking the edges. But those three and outs in a row just killed the 49ers. Did they not? They just killed the 49ers. The greatest offense, Kyle Shanahan's offense, and they were just helpless. They looked like the 49ers against the Vikings or the Browns or the Bengals again for that stretch, during their worst stretch of the year.
But for me, and that's the thing, it's, of course, moving parts. But I don't think Kyle put them in the proper place they needed to be. And, and this is something I would love to have a discussion, and with Drape's on here too, is Whitey, and you tell me where you think, not now, but somewhere down the show. I think it's time for Shanahan to let Purdy have a little more responsibility in this offense.
Yeah. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that'll never
happen. I know. And that's part of the argument and conversation against Shanahan is, he's got to have his guy, and it's got to be. But I'll say this, and you tell me what you think. There were a couple opportunities you could see Purdy's wheels working. And I know he wanted to call an audible, and he probably just didn't have no secondary option. There probably was no secondary option. He took a step back a few times. I'm like, man, he sees something. I could see something. Watching the whole field, it was a couple times where the Chiefs were loaded on the left side, and it was a pass play, and L'Jarius or McDuffie or someone would be on the outside by themselves, all by themselves, and he would move McCaffrey out there, and I was like, I know he wants an audible, and he couldn't do it.
What would happen if somebody in the 49ers screamed at Shanahan on the sideline the way that Kelsey was screaming at him?
Oh, man, they might not have a job today. Unless it was about 5 or 6 guys, yeah, they probably would be cut.
When we come back, the one play that, of course, turned the whole Super Bowl around. We'll see if we can't get Drapes back in the conversation as well. Thank you for being with us on this difficult day for 49er fans. Kings fans, too, frankly. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
And a handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper here for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. You know, I'm loving my new EQS SUV. It's the most amazing car I've ever had. In fact, when I'm on the road with the Kings, I can't wait to come back just to hop in that EQS SUV. It's lovely. Now, if you've been on the fence about purchasing your first fully electric vehicle, I'll just say this. Schedule a test drive and see for yourself what makes these vehicles so incredible. Right now, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is offering up to $10,000 in incentives on new 2023 and 2024 Mercedes-Benz electric vehicles. You'll also receive a wall box home charger and 2 years of prepaid vehicle maintenance if you purchase or lease any Mercedes-Benz electric model. So head on over to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, just 30 minutes from Sacramento, right off I-5, online at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo, with Bradley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. Plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by Hubble Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center.
It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install the new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Elevate your drive with Acura of Stockton's President's Day savings. Unleash luxury and precision in a new Acura Integra, RDX, MDX, or TLX. Quality meets affordability with savings on our best selection. Get to AcuraofStockton.com and start your experience today. Own the road in style. Visit us today or go to AcuraofStockton.com. Elevate your drive with Acura of Stockton, where precision crafted performance is at your fingertips.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Situation developing here on the YouTube chat. I hadn't anticipated this. I understand it. I just wouldn't have guessed it was going to happen because we got Raider fans going after 49er fans now. Like
what?
Yeah, it's like, well, we beat the Chiefs in
here we go. Come on, man.
The 49ers didn't.
Come on, man.
Yeah, then you got somebody says, well, 49ers, after they played the game, they went back to the Bay Area. The Raiders didn't. So
stayed at home.
Yeah. So back and forth.
You know what? Why there wasn't a major Raider presence.
Really?
It wasn't. I was expected to see a lot of fun. I get it, Chiefs and then 49ers in the game, but I think I've seen a bigger presence from other teams than the Raiders. I truly do.
Well, I don't know if it had anything to do with it, but that was a tough Super Bowl for Raider fans.
Yeah, for sure. It was a no-win situation.
In your facility taking on the freaking 49ers. So I don't know. We'll get Kyle Draper back on as soon as we can. Kyle flew into Phoenix today with the Kings. Of course, they play there tomorrow night. We had some connection issues that are not his fault. They're not our fault. That's the way it is. And we're working on them. And push come to shove, we'll at least get Kyle on the phone today because I guess he has some things to say about the game, which it turns out, by the way, keep in mind, anything he says blasphemous about the 49ers. I don't think he even saw the game yesterday, right? He wanted to.
He admitted to it.
Right.
Now you got him, Whitey.
Yeah. When he says, I don't know why the 49ers, and they won the toss, and then they took the ball. Well, that's not what happened. So
he doesn't even know what's going on.
yeah. And as he explained earlier, I apologize to those who did hear it. He was watching with the team yesterday. Since Coach Brown's son is a quality control coach with the defense, the team stayed in Oklahoma City so they could watch the game, but there were storms there. And I guess the direct TV went out. So that kind of put the kibosh on that party. Then everyone was watching individually. Sounds like Drapes didn't get to see much of the game. But we'll get them on as soon as we can. Now, as far as the one play that turned the whole game around, well, we'll get to that top of the hour. I don't know what you thought of the punt return that just wasn't to be, but it was difficult because it reminded, obviously, a lot of 49er fans were reminded of the Kyle Williams play. There were a couple other plays. There was one play, and it was almost like the football god said, 49er fans, man, I'm sorry. There was the overthrow to Debo in the end zone. Yeah. It's like, it's Emmanuel Sanders all over again, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And there was a couple times where the Chiefs were facing, it's 3rd and 15. And I was like, oh no, not this again. But the muffed punt, I know somebody on Twitter asked me, why didn't Ray McLeod just call for fair catch? Well, it didn't matter once it bounced off of
Flanagan.
Luter,
excuse me.
Yeah. Once it bounced off his foot. It didn't matter if it was a fair catch or not.
No.
Ball.
You know what? And I'm going to the extreme here, White. It's on this situation is this. At what point are the 49ers going to just understand, and it sounds crazy, don't even put nobody back there at this point.
I think they tried that at times this year, and then they decided, well, we got to put somebody back there.
You don't,
Unfortunately.
You don't, though.
I know.
Because the 49ers haven't had a punt return in I don't know how long. I have to look that up. They're not running it back. The percentages of you running it back are almost obsolete compared to what we've seen happen over the last 15 or so years for punting. It's, as you said, the football gods are laughing at the 49ers in our face. I'd rather have it on the 1 yard line than do what they did.
But can't they kind of split the difference and go out, spend time, and find someone who can actually is halfway decent at catching a punt and maybe giving you, 4 or 5 yards?
Ray's been okay, though.
Yeah, I know.
Ray's been all right. And it wasn't his fault, minus the fact that he tried to pick it up instead of falling on it. I give you that. But that was just bad luck, man. Bad luck.
I guess. I mean, they were all screaming, right? I think their code word is Peter. I think that's what Shanahan said, and that means get out of the way, get out of the way. And Luter figures, I'm not in the way. I'm good. Right off of his foot. And I guess Ray thought he could pick it up and run with it, right?
Yeah, it should have just fell on it.
Yeah.
In the arena, they did terrible. Shouts out to everyone, I should say, that had a part to play in putting on the Super Bowl. Let me say that to the men and women and some children who had, performances, things like that. Mm-hmm. I thought the NFL put on a pretty good show when it came to Vegas for it being the first time.
See, I'm glad to hear that. Excuse me for interrupting, but because I wonder, do they really only care about what it looks like on TV, or do they care about the fans? And it sounds like you guys got a good show.
Yeah, I think they do. I truly do think they care about the fans. And, I think this is my 5th one. Vegas to me felt more fan friendly than the other 4 I've been to.
Wow.
And, there's something in what we do, Whitey, when it comes to like media. And, I get this question quite a bit from people of, are there real fans there, or is it more corporate? Like, I've always felt it's more corporate in the 4 that I've went to. Mm-hmm. I truly believe I thought I saw way more fans in the arena, this time. And I felt like it was more of a fan presence in and around the city. And of course it could have just been Vegas, but I also felt like, and going back to a couple segments ago, I really thought it was huge when it came to like the watch parties around Allegiant, on that side, the terrible casino and things like that. Like, it was a ton of people, man. Tons and tons of people.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of people.
A lot of 49er fans, right?
Oh, tons of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tons of Chiefs too, though.
After a first down, I heard woo, woo, woo. So
of course.
A lot of 49er fans.
Oh, it was pro 49er crowd for sure. Yeah. It wasn't even close. Mm-hmm. Not even close.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Let's see what Gil has to say. Gil, you're on with the Drive Guys. What's up?
Hey, guys. Just want to let you know, love your show. been a Raiders fan since '76, but I must say, as much as I was in pain for watching the Super Bowl, didn't go to a Super Bowl party, just watched it in peace at home. I was, I wouldn't say rooting, but I preferred the Niners win because I just can't stand Kansas City, and that's a division rival. And there was 2 surveys that I saw that said 80% of Raider fans preferred the Niners to win over 20%. And those 20%, they found that there were more NorCal Raider fans that were preferring to KC. And I don't get that. How can you root for a division rival over, a former geographic rival? But as I sat there watching the game, I told myself, and I remembered as the Raiders beat them in BKC in Christmas, I told friends, I said, you can't allow Mahomes to have the ball with X amount of time to either tie the game or win the game. I go, when you're on offense, man, you got to do what you had to do and keep that ball away. And so I thought that Shanahan made some errors in going to Purdy a little too much and not sticking with McCaffrey. I thought McCaffrey was your guys' guy, use him more in the pass and the run and just keep that ball away. And I don't know.
Thank you, Gil. I appreciate your comments. Right. I didn't realize that. Yeah, that's a tough one. I guess there are some, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are some Raider fans who are like the old split cap ace Giants. Maybe there are some Raider fans who are like, I like 49ers too. I mean, I don't
Bay Area fan. He's basically a Bay guy.
I guess. I know you felt that way also about Shanahan and his play calling.
Yeah, I didn't really like it. I think it's the opposite. I thought he went to the run a couple times where it's like, come on, man, let Purdy, let it go. That's why we have him. This is not Jimmy G back here. I trust him a little more than Jimmy G. We have to go. It's time to go. Go put the stamp on the game. Go try to win it. Like I said, I really thought Shanahan was like the opposite of what he does, and what he, how he normally operates in many situations of the game. Normally when he throws, he was running. Normally when he runs, he throws. Normally when they do, I thought they didn't use the outside enough. They ran inside quite a bit more than I believe, where I thought the Chiefs were stronger inside and a lot weaker on the outside. You saw a couple times where Elijah Mitchell came in and ran to the right side. Again, when no one was out there, Whitey, no one was out there, and he'd get you 7 or 8. I truly believe Shanahan did the opposite in many different times. And I don't know if it was the pressure. I don't know if it was because he was going against Andy Reid. I don't know if he's been hearing the whispers that people like us have been saying over the last couple of years, go for it. Were you surprised when he went for it in the first quarter?
When they went for the pass to Kittle, when they went for it, which was later in the game.
Yep.
I understand it. I agree with it, but I was really surprised.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was like, you're out of character.
Yeah.
It was really out of character.
Bizarro Shanahan, anti-Shanahan in some ways. But he was asked about that, Gil, after the game. You may have heard him. He was asked about getting away from McCaffrey. It was really, you can imagine, he was just, every loser of a Super Bowl, they're just dying inside. And there's just, and he has questions from all over and he answers everyone. But he was asked about getting away from the running game. And he said, we didn't get away from the running game. We just didn't have the opportunity to run. They were facing some, there was just a lot of second and longs and third and longs that are hard to run.
Yes.
Right? That's part of the things that happen.
But I thought he got away from Elijah Mitchell and Mason a long time ago, though.
Yep.
Very on in the season. Very early on in the season.
And I think that's just because he loved McCaffrey so much. And
that's
McCaffrey
cool.
did, I believe I just saw he's the first guy with 75 yards rushing and 75 yards receiving in a Super Bowl. But hey, terrific.
Yeah,
I'm sure everybody is celebrating that. When we come right back, how the 49ers, how they did what they needed to do to win, but still couldn't win. That's what surprised me the most. And it's actually with the Drive guys. We'll get Drapes back with us too. Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San
Let's go! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Slayer and get your guaranteed maximum refund? It feels like the last level of a video game, facing off against the final boss who stands between you and your refund.
All your refund has belonged to me.
Using the power of Tax Slayer like a secret power-up he doesn't see coming.
Only the most tax confident can defeat me.
Throwing your laptop at his video game face and watching him crumble into a giant pile of shiny coin tax refunds.
Oh, not fair. You use Tax Slayer.
Save up to 80% when you file with Tax Slayer. Start for free.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Yeah, your Sacramento home of the San Francisco 49ers heading back out now to the mysterious Senor Sarape. He returns with his Philadelphia Eagles Sarape from Phoenix, Arizona, Kyle Draper. Where is it, Drapes?
You know what? I took it off, Whitey. I said, you know what? I'm not going to do it to you guys. Niners fans are in their feelings today. They're struggling today. I get it. I understand it. I'm not going to do that to them. I'm trying to be. When they go low, I go high. That's
why not. Don't switch up like Kyle Shanahan. Listen to the see Kyles. All the Kyles this week they switching up on it.
Yeah. Who was it? There was somebody on the Eagles.
I'm just saying, man. Why kick you guys?
I'm sorry. Somebody on the Eagles was taking shots at Debo after the game yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I texted you guys that yesterday, and Jay did not take too kindly to that. I believe that was my boy Fletcher Cox who did that. Fletcher Cox. Keep the Eagles out your mouth. BOE. What that mean? I don't know. I don't know that lingo, but hey, all the Niners accomplished is they made it to the same place the Eagles did last year. And so I can't tell you how many Niners fans I was around. Mike Brown was sitting right over there to my left. He was cheering on his son, his squad. We had a room full of Niners fans, and I think there were like 3 Chiefs fans in there. We were holding it down. We were ready.
I don't know if you heard about this, but apparently Brandon Podjemski on the Warriors, of course, and Lester Quinones, they both on social media today were like, yeah, it's a great day to be a Chiefs fan, and Warrior fans shut them down. And I think, I'm not saying it's right, but they went after both of them to the point where Podjemski, he removed at least one of his posts. I guess, Warrior fans / 49er fans not too happy to hear players on the Warriors getting all excited about, yay, Chiefs, yay, yay, yay. So you got to be careful these days.
Yeah, can you guys hear me okay? This is super frustrating, guys. I'm sorry about this. It's a super delay on my end. And, I tell you, I think it's sabotage being done by the radio station back there in Sacramento because they know I'm the only guy that's calling right now that's a Chiefs fan. They're trying to sabotage my audio right here so I don't have to get a 49ers fans the business. I'm still here, Niners fans. And the funny thing about this, too, and let me get this off, Jay. Let me get this off, Whitey. I was checking Twitter all day last night. Woke up this morning. I'm sure Niners fans going to be in my mentions and say, Drapes, you were right, or crickets. Ain't nobody said a darn thing to me. No Niners fans. No, it's just been quiet. Where y'all at, Jay? Stand up.
Well, you were not right. I'll say that. I mean, I know you're anti-49ers, and they lost, so okay. But this whole thing of, I was right all along. You've been wrong so many times about the 49ers this year, I can't even keep count.
That's 100% true, man. I've been waiting, though. I was wrong when they played the Eagles. I was wrong when they played the Packers. I was wrong when they played the Lions. But I was right when they played my boy Patrick Mahomes and Taylor Swift and Kelsey. I was right about that.
All right. Yeah. I thought yesterday, one thing that surprised me, I thought if the 49ers could get to Mahomes, that they could win the game, and they should win the game. I thought that was, with all the money that the 49ers have invested in that front, Kansas City's offensive front, they have some talent, but they were down a man or two, and they're not great. I thought if the 49ers can do that, they're going to win the game. They did get pressure. Bosa had a big game. They had Patrick Mahomes on the run for much of the game. They achieved that, and they still didn't win the game. That surprised me, and I'm sure that had to be a source of great frustration for the 49ers. Yeah, we're having some issues with Drapes. I don't think he can. Yeah. Kyle Draper's on the phone with us there. Hello, Drapes. Yeah, it surprised me the 49ers got to Mahomes. The pass rush had a lot of success, but they still lost the game. I thought they would win the game if they could put that kind of pass rush on Mahomes. All right.
The blueprint in that first half. I thought the blueprint in that first half was perfect, man. I thought they befuddled Mahomes. They held that Chiefs offense intact. And when I was watching that first half, I thought it's clear that the Niners are the way more talented team. Mahomes doesn't have playmakers on offense, really. They bottled up. I thought they did a good job on Pacheco as well. And so I thought the defense was good. But until late, I don't know if they were gassed. I don't know if Mahomes was setting them up. As I was watching this game, I thought Mahomes had a number of lanes to run the ball. And I thought, you know what? Maybe he's saving that till late, and then he started making plays with his feet later. I thought the defense played well. I mean, ultimately, guys, we got to call it what it is, right? This is the Kings going up against the Warriors. This is Steph Curry going off for 50 in Game 7. We can talk about all the coaching blunders, the turnovers, but Patrick Mahomes, when it mattered most, he made the plays. And I don't necessarily think the Niners lost that game. I think the Chiefs actually won it. Mahomes, and I mentioned it earlier, 3 straight drives to end the game, more than 60-plus yards. those were clutch. 2 field goals and then the touchdown. I thought they made the plays when it mattered the most.
They did. I did think the 49ers left the door open for them, wide open, because they didn't take advantage of some opportunities earlier in the game. But there's no question. That's the thing that surprised me the least is the way down the stretch Patrick Mahomes just had total control of the game and the Chiefs offense. And, how many times on key plays did Patrick Mahomes, like the 4th and 1? There was no one near him. The run, what did he run for 44 yards on one play, whatever it was? There was nobody near him. The touchdown passes he threw, there's guys totally uncovered. Obviously, he doesn't deserve all the credit for that, but he deserves a lot of the credit for getting the Chiefs in those positions. So that surprised me the least. On that 4th and 1, let's be honest, it was an opportunity technically for the 49ers to win the game. If you stop them here, you win. Right. I thought there is no way they're going to stop Patrick Mahomes. I mean, maybe there's a bad snap or something, maybe, but I thought they had I never for a minute really believed that, all right, here it is. They're going to stop him. At that point, I just don't think it was even doable.
Well, I was surprised they stopped Pacheco in the down previously to that on the 3rd down. And when they stopped him there, I was like, uh-oh, they may have something here. But when you have that kind of situation, high leverage situation, late in the game, 4th down, the defense is expected to run all the way, and they're trying to pinch inside. Mm-hmm. And I thought, Mahomes, man, I thought him and Andy Reid anticipated very well what the Niners defense was going to do. I thought, first half, it took them a while to figure it out. But as the game went on, I think they sort of figured out where some of the holes were. And, that's what makes Patrick Mahomes great too, man. And he doesn't run, in my opinion, enough. I think he should run and use his legs even more because he's that dynamic. But you're right, Whitey. 4th and 1, Mahomes, like the whole playbook is open at that point. You could line up any way you want, and they figured it out and got the 1st down. And so, that's not. I will say, the one defensive mistake I thought Steve Wilkes made was when they blitzed Mahomes. I think it was on the 3rd down, and he picked it apart and made a completion that kept the chains moving. I didn't like his decision to blitz at that point, but for the most part, the defense played well. It's just they were gassed, they were tired. They had held Mahomes and them in check pretty much all game long. And even those last 2 drives before the final one, to hold them to field goals, that's an accomplishment. Yep, and so I thought the defense, man, that the bend don't break, we can, the defense was the better part of the Niners. You look at defense, offense, special teams. I thought the defense had a hell of a game, man.
Yeah, the defense gave the 49ers opportunities. Brock Purdy talked about that. That said, did you think that Shanahan's play calling was an issue? I know Jay does. I know a lot of people. We've heard from somebody on the phone already. If I'm being honest, I and of course I am. To me, it's not a big issue. There are a couple plays here or there where he made the wrong calls. I think that's football. By and large, it wasn't a big issue for me. How about you? Did you think that Kyle Shanahan's play calling was one of the things that contributed to the 49ers loss?
I don't think so. I think that's, Monday morning quarterback, and I understand people say, oh, you should run the ball more in the 3rd quarter. Some people are saying, oh, you got to eat the clock. You're up in the 3rd. I'm like, it's the 3rd quarter. There's tons of football left. Oh, get the ball to CMC. Give the Chiefs credit. They did a hell of a job on CMC, because here's the thing about Christian McCaffrey, guys, that we've seen all season long, ever since he's joined the Niners. They took away the 20-yard runs, that one big run. CMC really didn't have that. Sure, he would have a 6-yard, 7, 8-yard run, but he only averaged 3.9 yards per carry. He touched the ball 30 times out of the 69 plays, between passes and rushes that they had. I mean, what more do you want to do, especially in today's NFL, where it's a pass-happy NFL? I thought, Shanahan did a hell of a job. Now, if you want to say, oh, you got to run the ball more in the 3rd, at the time, I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking, if I'm being honest, I was thinking Brock Purdy got to be better. I was thinking Brock Purdy had a number of balls tipped, and this is something we talked about going into the Super Bowl. And I also think the pass rush got to him where he was throwing off his back foot a little too much there in that 3rd quarter, second half. But I didn't see it as a problem that they weren't getting CMC the ball enough.
But so let me ask both of you this. And first of all, I want to make this point. I think you hit something spot on there, Drapes, where you call the Chiefs the Warriors while the 49ers were kind of the Kings. I can't agree with you more. I really think that they just had the know-how, and that's what really persevered at the end of it all. I really, truly do. But this is one of my gripes, and it's not so much as it like Monday morning quarterback Kyle Shanahan, because that's not what I'm doing. I was calling for this yesterday. So I could, and we have people that heard me say this. My problem with Shanahan, and it really infuses into the whole 49ers organization, and Drapes, you weren't able to hear me say this because you weren't on the air, is this. There's sometimes you have to break from what you're doing to make a difference. And it's been shown that to win a Super Bowl, the Philly special, like all these different plays that have to happen, the Sean Payton kick, Shanahan does not have that in his bag. And we saw one happen, and what happened? It turned into a touchdown. And that's my problem with Kyle Shanahan, is sometimes you have to break from what you know to do something that other people aren't expecting. And I'm glad you guys talked about the Pat Mahomes 4th and 1. Everybody in the world knew. Everybody. Why wouldn't the 49ers know? If I was going to get beat, you were going to beat me with Pacheco, with Hardman, with all these other people. I would have ran 12 people at Pat Mahomes and left one person wide open.
Really?
Why not? Do something different. And that's the problem. You continue, the TCs, the people that call in here and talk about Shanahan is very, he doesn't make adjustments. The 49ers have problems making in-game adjustments. When they get to halftime, everything's fine and dandy. But on the fly, Shanahan and a lot of, I don't think DeMeco Ryans did, but I think Saleh and Steve Wilks have fallen into that same category. Make an adjustment.
Here's where I had an issue with Shanahan yesterday. And as far as the play with Mahomes, Bosa he had to pick one or the other, and he went after Pacheco. And
Why?
It was like,
Why?
He had to go one of the. I mean,
but
I
why?
don't know.
It wasn't going to Pacheco. 4th and 1, and we're talking about the greatest football player on earth right now. Most people believe. He was keeping the ball.
Well, Bosa didn't. I mean, maybe you're right. It was the third option. I just knew they had too many options. I just didn't feel like the 49ers were going to be able to stop him. If they'd given it to Pacheco, maybe he still would have made it. Here's my problem with Shanahan. Overall, I disagree with you about his play calling, except for one thing. At the end of the first half, and the Chiefs are driving and the 49ers have timeouts, they just don't use them. And so they get the ball back, and there's like 20 seconds. And, then kneel down and, okay, let's go. Well, why do you do that? Well, we don't want to turn it over. Well, you only get so many opportunities to possess the ball in the Super Bowl. And that's Shanahan, to your point, Jay. Shanahan always does that, right? It's in the half. We're just going to get out of here. Why don't you call some timeouts so there's more time left when you get the ball back, and maybe you could actually do something offensively? And you talk about being conservative, ultra conservative. In that case, against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, to me, that made no sense whatsoever. Anybody?
I'll push back on that, Whitey. I hear you. And when you look at it, I think it might have only been like 40-something seconds left or something like that they would have had the ball there before the half. And so I didn't have necessarily at the time a problem with that decision. You're going into the half up 10-3. I got the play chart right here because I want to see exactly what you're talking about here. First and 10 KC. I mean, under 2 minutes, do you want them to start calling it the timeout? Like, to me, that's sort of, admitting that they're going to score, Like, I felt like if you call the timeouts, that's sort of helping Kansas City to an extent. And so I'm looking at the play sheet here. First down, 1st and 10 at the 14. It's a minute left. 2nd and 7. I mean, you call those, you're still going to, not have much time left. I don't think he had. How many timeouts did he have at that time? 2?
Yeah, I believe 2 left still. Yeah.
Yeah, he had 2. I think that's nitpicking with Kyle Shanahan right now. And this is what we do. When you lose a Super Bowl, you can go through every play, every decision, and second guess it. How come we're not talking about the Moody missed extra point? How come that? Like, we can put Kyle Shanahan at the top of the blame game if you want, but several other, like the extra point being blocked, the fumble and on the punt, like all these things occurred. And I don't think it wasn't Shanahan's finest hour. I understand that. I get that. But going for it on 4th and 1 early in the game, that's out of character, I thought. And he went for it and got it. And so, was there some bad decisions? Yes. But I thought he had some good decisions too.
Well, we will get to that one play that turned the whole Super Bowl around when we come right back here. Kyle Draper's in Arizona. You got the Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
The only place you'll find Harrison Barnes is Sactown Sports.
He's got the bucket at the buzzer. Harrison Barnes.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Harrison Barnes, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Welcome to a brand new year filled with limitless possibilities at Kia of Vacaville. Prepare yourself for an extraordinary driving adventure as we present our impressive 2024 vehicle lineup. Step into the future with state-of-the-art technology, groundbreaking features, and the sleek design that has become synonymous with Kia. Immerse yourself in the dynamic performance of the all-new Kia Sportage, where captivating design meets exhilarating power. Experience the fuel efficiency of the Kia Niro, a hybrid marvel that extends your journey with every mile. Indulge in the sophistication of the Kia Telluride, seamlessly blending luxury and versatility. Don't overlook our eco-friendly Kia hybrid options, ideal for those who prioritize efficiency without sacrificing style. If you're in search of the EV9, Kia of Vacaville has it in stock or available for delivery. Visit Kia of Vacaville today and cruise into 2024 with confidence and style. Kia of Vacaville, where innovation meets the road. Elevate your drive, elevate your year. Model availability and features may vary. Please see the dealership for details.
Powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
If there was one play that turned that Super Bowl around yesterday, you know what it was. It was the old muffed punt. Kyle Draper, for 49er fans, you know, that takes you back to the 2012 NFC Championship game. Kyle Williams muffed a punt in the fourth quarter against the Giants in the NFC Championship game, setting up a go-ahead score for the Giants. And then in overtime, he fumbled, and the Giants went on to win the game. So there were a number of things yesterday. And, yeah, I know it's just the way you look at it. But, you know, as a fan of a team that keeps losing crucial games in agonizing fashion, you start to see these patterns. And for that to happen yesterday, it sent a lot of fans back to 2012. And I'm still not sure, you know, what exactly went wrong, or if it was just, you know, the bounce of the football was just ill fortune for the 49ers. But that's where the game turned. Would you agree?
No, 100%. I mean, because the Chiefs' offense, you know, was you know, bottled up at that point. You know, they were struggling at that point to cash in on anything. And so, you know, the issue wasn't necessarily, you know, it touching the player's foot. It was Ray trying to make something happen.
Yeah.
Just cover it up, right? Mm-hmm. Just secure the ball and cover it up. And you're 100% right. That gave the Chiefs some life into them. Then, you know, after that, obviously the offense got going. And, you know, when you look at it, that play right there, at the time, let me see here. At the time, the score was what?
10-6, wasn't it?
10-6. Yeah, 10-6.
They scored the next play. Yeah, they scored on the very next play.
10-6 for long.
Yeah.
15-yard, to Valdez-Scantling. Yeah, you're right. And you guys know as well as I do, momentum is a thing in sports. And as well as the Niners had been playing, after that play to be trailing 13-10 at that point, if you're KC, you're like, we're good. Like, I felt like the Chiefs took the Niners defense best shot, and yet they still held the lead 13-10 at that point. You guys are 100% right. From that point on, it was a different Patrick Mahomes. It was a different Kansas City Chief. So you had that touchdown. Then after that, the next Chiefs possession, field goal. The next Chiefs possession, field goal. And the next Chiefs possession, touchdown. So they had been struggling all game long, but that one play after that, they scored on the final four possessions that they had.
It's like a free throw. Like Drapes, you call it every night. It's like getting a star going. All they have to do, how many times we hear it? All they got to do is see you go through the basket one time or a free throw, put them on the line, and then all of a sudden, 12.
Yeah. Yeah. Daryl Luter needed to get out of the way, apparently. And I know Kyle Shanahan after the game was asked about that, and I think their word is, I think Peter is a word. Like, I mean, it's get out of the way. Peter. Just get out of the way. He probably thought he was out of the way. Probably didn't even know the ball's anywhere near him. Hits him in the foot. And, it's interesting what you say, Drapes, and you're right. You got to fall on the ball. Everybody knows that. Anyone who's ever played football at any level, you remember coaches saying, just fall on the ball. Or your dad saying that when you watch TV. But you know how guys are that are skill position players or playmakers. In their minds, like, that's for linemen. I can do some damage. So, Ray is like, I can still make something out of this. And it was just that fateful mistake. But was it just bad luck or was it a bad special teams play? Should that not have happened? Should Daryl Luter have known to be nowhere near that? I honestly don't know. And I know there are some coaches that have called the station today and said, yeah, you got to clear out of the area. But there was certainly an element of bad luck involved there.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like you said before, Luter doesn't know, at least I don't think, I've never played football, so I wouldn't know 100%, but he's probably thinking, I'm good, I'm not in the play, I'm blocking.
Yeah.
And when you hear that, you're in the middle of the game. You're in couldn't even hear it, We don't know. Like, that happens in football a lot. Oh, touching somebody. But Ray had a chance to cover his teammates back, to have his teammates back. And so we could talk about Luter, hitting his foot and he shouldn't have been there all we want. Ray had a chance to help his guy out, to have his teammates back, and he bossed it. And I understand, as a player, you think you can make plays. I'm going to help the team. I'm going to do what I can, to get some yards here. I might be able to bust this one. But at that time, you just got to go down on that. We've heard it a million times, guys. Just cover the ball, whether it's a fumble or anything like that. Instead of trying to scoop it up and run, nope, just get down on it, cover it up.
Yep.
That's what Ray should have did.
You're right. Now, the funny thing about the missed extra point, and I made this point earlier, and I'm not going to belabor it because it's kind of wonky, but Drapes, if he made the extra point and the 49ers were up 4, then the next time down the field, the Chiefs would have probably gone for a touchdown instead of kicking and if they scored the touchdown, the 49ers would have been worse off. So, it's possible that hurt the 49ers. It's possible that in a backwards way, it actually helped them. Ultimately, I don't think it's going to go down in history as the missed extra point that cost the 49ers the game. It was a mistake. The kick had to be higher, but we don't know really how costly that was as opposed to the muffed punt, which definitely cost them a lot of points.
No, you're right. But with that being said, Whitey, if the Chiefs have to score a touchdown, ultimately what this game comes down to, guys, too, is no matter what, the defense got to get the stops at the end.
Yep.
And so, you know what? If you kick a field goal in overtime, you're up 3. All right, defense, go out there and stop them.
Yep.
And so ultimately that's what it came down to. And, to your point, if he makes the extra point, then it becomes a 4-point game. Chiefs score a touchdown. Then you have a chance to march back down and tie it as well. But I think ultimately, no matter what, the defense, they scored on the final 4 drives of their game. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that, that's the game right there. 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals. That's the game. The defense inability to get off the field when it mattered the most.
Mm-hmm. Now, it's interesting. Today it came out, I think Jay talked about this earlier, the 49ers, some players said, we didn't know the rules in overtime. I was watching with people, and I had to admit, when they showed the rules, I didn't remember that they had changed the overtime rules for the postseason, which, of course, goes back to that Bills and Chiefs game a couple of years ago. So I was looking at the rules going, whoa, wait, what? Oh, both teams get the ball. But I think that's hilarious that the 49ers were saying, yeah, we saw the rules on the scoreboard. We didn't know what they were. The Chiefs said they were all very well aware of it and had prepared for it. And it sounds like the 49ers hadn't discussed it at all. I don't know if that mattered, but that's a bad look for them today.
Bad look. And I thought the players threw Shanahan under the bus in the post-game press conference. I thought they were a little too honest. Yeah, we had no idea that's how it was. And they didn't think how it would look to their coach. Now, with that being said, Shanahan should have prepared them for that. Like, they should know the rules of the game. And, you know, Shanahan knew the rules. That's why he decided to take the ball.
Right.
You know, you heard his explanation afterwards. You know, we wanted to get it back with a chance to win, maybe on that third drive. I don't know how much that factored into the game, because once it goes to overtime, the announcement is made. It's up on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Everybody should have known. Like, you know, it doesn't have to take your coach or anything like that. Everybody should have known. But that's a bad look. That's bad optics, you know, for the Niners. And that's a bad look on Shanahan. And, you know, I got to cover Bill Belichick in New England for a number of years. I was out there, been to playoff games, talked to coach. And the one thing all his players would say is that Belichick would have them prepared for any crazy scenario, anything. It was, and same thing like Andy Reid, the Chiefs player said, this is something we've talked about for a while now. Like, as a coach, it's your job to have your guys prepared for whatever may happen. And to Jay's point, it feels like at times Shanahan is sort of reactive instead of proactive as these games go on.
It reminds me, Jay, do you remember, I think it was like 2008, there was a quarterback who didn't know the overtime rules. You remember that?
I kind of do remember that.
Who was
yeah.
that? It was the Bengals and somebody, and I can't remember. Do you remember that, Drapes, who that was? What team they were playing? That the quarterback of the team didn't know.
They didn't know the overtime
I
rules.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
What team was that now?
I can't quite remember. Let me put my finger on it. I don't know. I got amnesia out here in Phoenix. I don't remember that.
Don't put your finger on. Put your sarape on with the name of the team on there. Yes, hail to the Chiefs. Fail do the 49ers when we come right back. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
And a handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more. And then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow. Maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
It's Carmichael Day with a Fire Wings announcement. The Floor and Road location now serves pizza, and oh my goodness, it's so good. Don't forget the Wednesday lineup, 88-cent wings every Wednesday. You got 21 delicious flavors to choose from in the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Save time and order online. Go to firewings.com or download the app. Find a location near you, order online, and earn rewards. Fire Wings, just wing it.
No one does spring travel like Amtrak. That's because now more kids ages 2 to 12 ride for 50% off. Not only will you travel comfortably, you'll save too. Book now at Amtrak.com. Restrictions apply.
Hagen Oaks is introducing the hot new Callaway Paradigm AI Smoke line of drivers, fairways, hybrids, and iron sets that are sweeter from every spot. AI Smoke is designed with thousands of real player data and a revolutionary new AI Smart Face for sweet spots across the entire face. Ask about the full line of Callaway Paradigm AI Smoke woods and irons and find your sweet spot at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. The #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at HagenOaks.com.
Welcome to the President's Day sale, happening now at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Celebrate with us and get huge savings on our giant selection. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company sold on report.
Right now, the sewer system is probably the last thing on your mind. And that's okay, because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. If you have a sewer problem like a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, get a free T-check and free exam. Book your appointment today at Revive Sacramento. We know we can help you. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Denise has been playing jazz for 40 years. Last concert, one of the musicians fell sick with RSV. Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a highly contagious virus that can lead to breathing problems. This time, she's choosing to help protect herself with Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo. Abrysvo is a vaccine for the prevention of lower respiratory tract disease caused by respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, in adults 60 years of age and older. Abrysvo is not for everyone and may not protect all who receive the vaccine. Don't get Abrysvo if you've had a severe allergic reaction to its ingredients. People with a weakened immune system may have a decreased response to Abrysvo. The most common side effects are tiredness, headache, pain at the injection site, and muscle pain. Ask your pharmacist or doctor about Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo, respiratory syncytial virus vaccine. For full prescribing information, please call 1-844-989-7284 or visit abrysvo.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Overtime rules. So it was a surprise to me. Yeah, I didn't even really know what was going on in terms of that. They put on the scoreboard, and everyone was like, "Oh, even if you score, they get a chance still." So
that was Eric Armstead from Sacramento, of course, 49er, who was one of the 49ers who said, "Yeah, we weren't sure what the overtime rules were." I know there's a story coming up on ESPN. It says overtime confusion ? So it sounds like they're trying to make ESPN's trying to make something out of that. Was that a factor at all? I don't think so. Whitey Gleason here in Sacramento. Kyle Draper coming to us from Phoenix, where tomorrow we've got, of course, the Kings and the Suns. And Jay with us today. Of course, he was there yesterday. So it does sound to me, Kyle, like there are some that are trying to see if they can make this 49ers didn't know the rules thing into more than I think it actually is.
Yeah, I mean, it's an optics thing, a bad look thing, but did it actually impact the level of play on the field? Did the defense, all of a sudden, not try as hard or like it doesn't make, you know what I mean? Like, and so it's definitely a bad look. And I understand in TV and media, we got to make things, bigger than what they really were. But like I said, last segment, once you go to overtime, everybody is aware. They got the sign up there. I'm sure Kyle said it. I think, when you hear Armstead and those guys say, "Oh, I wasn't aware," they didn't know before it came up. But once they were out on the field in that overtime, they knew darn sure what they needed to do. They knew exactly what they needed to accomplish. So I don't know how much it really impacted the level of play on the field. It's some knowledge, that, Kansas City had before, but I don't think it impacted the outcome of the game.
I wonder if the 49ers knew that if you get that stop on 4th and 1, you win the game, and whether they did or not. I'm sure they gave it everything they could. But to that point, did you know that Mahomes said, when Hardman made that catch, I ran up to him and I had to tell him we won the game. So it wasn't just, there was a lot of confusion. Mahomes said, yeah, he didn't know. I say, hey, we just won the game. So Jim Nantz didn't know the rules. Nobody knew the rules yesterday.
Nobody. It was unbelievable. And I'll be honest with you too. And you guys tell me, because I'm still confused about the ending of the game. Like, if the clock would have ran out in the fourth quarter, that would have been not fourth quarter, overtime. That would have been the game, right? Like,
no.
Nope.
They would have still kept playing until that drive ends, basically, the conclusion of that drive, no matter what?
Well, no, meaning if it would the clock would have struck 0 and the Chiefs hadn't scored,
yes, exactly.
Then the game is over.
Then the game is over.
Yes, because they possessed the ball. They've already had the ball.
Right, and I'll tell you what, listening to Tony Romo trying to explain it down the stretch, he confused me more than anything. And it's like, I'm like, Mahomes, get up there. It's called a timeout. And was like, oh, they don't need to call the timeout. And it was a confusing finish. And even when the pass was complete for the touchdown, when Hardman caught it, it was sort of anticlimactic. It was like, is that it? Is the game over? I don't know. I don't know how you guys felt. And Jay, you were out there. I'm sure you felt it out there in the building. But watching it on TV, it was sort of like, man, that's it?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It had kind of an anticlimactic feeling, I felt.
I think we'll have it top of the hour, Drapes. You got to hear Greg Papa's call on that. Greg Papa definitely knew the rules, and he and his partner, who's
Tim Ryan.
Tim Ryan, thank you. Sorry about that, Tim Ryan. The great Tim Ryan. It's really
come on the show, Tim Ryan.
Yeah, it's a great call. It's a very sad and somber call. We'll have that for you. So there's no question there at that point. Greg Papa knew that the 49ers had lost the game, and it was just so. We kid about 49er fans, and we go back and forth. You Jay and I against you, but I mean that's a really tough one because the 49ers had an opportunity. They had a lead. That's 2 Super Bowls in a row. You have a 10-point lead. The last one, of course, was in the fourth quarter. They had a 10-point lead in the NFC title game against the Rams a couple years ago and didn't even get to the Super Bowl. And as I said earlier, I think this is interesting, and I'm not making excuses or anything, but if you're a certain age, you can remember, wow, the 49ers, Bill Walsh, they used to win Super Bowls all the time. Now, if you're, say, 45 or younger, what you know about the 49ers is, yeah, they get to the Super Bowl, but then they just get their hearts ripped out. They suffered tough losses.
About NFC championships as well.
Yes, all of it. All of it. Yeah. So that's just been the history of the team. It makes the that subplot even more interesting going forward. Can Shanahan ever win one with this team? And then the Chiefs next year, that subplot, trying to become the first team ever to win 3 in a row. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's a dynasty. 3 and 5 years, and when you look at the Niners, and Jay, you tell me now, was this their best chance to win it out of all the last 7 NFC Championship games, Super Bowls? Like, was this their year? Like, was this? No. Tell me why not.
I think and why do you jump on this? For me, I thought the 19 was the one.
I mean, they had a better team then.
Yeah, they had Pat Mahomes locked and he was doing nothing.
I thought the Ravens when they played the Ravens.
That was the second one. I was going to say also with the Ravens because Kaepernick was right there, at first. I mean, there was opportunity, right, with the 12-yard line or whatever it was.
Yeah.
All you had to do was run, Cap.
Well, they did run and it would have been a touchdown, but they'd called timeout.
I know. Yeah.
So those are the types of things now. If you're a 49er fan, that's your reality.
The other one for me too is the last year too. Like I really truly thought Purdy was hot, and I thought the team, and no disrespect to the Eagles, I thought they were going to go in there and trench them out. They were. They really were. But
I don't know why
to have
funny.
It, but to take it away and not even have an opportunity. Like I'd rather you beat me than, oh man, we don't have an opportunity to do anything. But for me, it's 19 and then the Ravens and then last year and then probably the Giants with the Kyle.
Well, I asked that because how much better can the Niners be? Like how much you got the talent, you got the quarterback, you got the coaching. I mean, what more can this team, this franchise do? What more can John Lynch do? What more can Kyle Shanahan from a talent perspective? Like, you guys were, I'm talking to Niners, they were the better team. On paper, the Niners were the better team.
I agree.
So where do you go from here, kind of thing?
Well,
like, what more can you do?
I agree with you. I felt the same thing watching yesterday. His 49ers were getting hurt, had to cart this guy off, and then that guy's out. And, it's just terrible, obviously, what happened to Dre Greenlaw. But I was starting to feel like, man, these guys are, I don't care what the birth certificate says, their bodies they're getting old. So, this might have been their best chance. But then I was reading today, there's talk that maybe they go after another pass rusher like Danielle Hunter. Maybe they add him on the other side from Bosa. And then, Purdy should be better. It's just they're paying so much money to their top, 8 players. You get to a point where it's like you end up with like $20 million to pay your last 44 guys or something like that. It's like, that doesn't work. So they're at the crossroads there. But I do agree. This was, with Shanahan's team, this was clearly, to me, I thought this was their best chance.
Really? Over the 19?
Yeah. That
last year too?
Yeah. I think Hargrave made a big difference.
But he didn't show up to make a big difference.
He had a good year. It didn't look like with the sacks. He had a good season.
Yeah, I think.
And McCaffrey had a great season.
And there's a conversation to be had. And you guys talked about it. I thought some of the top tier talent for the Niners didn't play well yesterday.
You're right.
But I also think coming down, looking back at past years, we always point to Jimmy Garoppolo and the quarterback, and I get it, understandable. I truly, and again, I thought Drapes had a fantastic point. This was Steph Curry, 50, and Pat finished it the second half, the second part of it. The difference of it is, though, is Steph Curry was phenomenal the whole game. I thought Pat Mahomes was very pedestrian a lot of the game. And to me, just like we saw, keeping the Kings Warriors, the Kings had opportunities to close out the Warriors in game 5 and game 7 was not even close. I thought the 49ers didn't do what they were supposed to do. And again, I truly think McCaffrey didn't have a good game. I thought Trent didn't have a good game. And I thought Shanahan went away from some of the things he should have done. And it just, it all kind of compounded with a few other things too.
Yeah. I just saying that, Mahomes is one of the greatest and Purdy's not there yet. That's obviously true. But to me, that's not why the 49ers lost the game. It's true. Purdy's not Mahomes, but Purdy he was, of all the 49ers, he had one of the better games. There's receivers couldn't get open. I thought the 49ers got out coached yesterday too. I thought that was an issue.
You could see that a lot.
Yeah. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, more on the 49ers, the loss yesterday, hail to the Chiefs, and where do the Niners go from here next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune into every Kings game this season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Sacramento County Voter Registration and Elections.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Skies will stay partly cloudy through the night tonight. Lows will drop down into the upper 30s to about 40. Tomorrow, look for partly cloudy skies with highs around 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA 3 app.
The presidential primary election is March 5th. All registered voters will receive their party-specific ballot in the mail. Check to make sure you're registered correctly at elections.saccounty.gov or call toll-free 800-762-8019.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. Plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Hoblo Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino in Elk Grove. Enjoy over 80 table games, the hottest slot machines, and our thrilling high limit room. Plus, with Sky River rewards that add up and up, and 17 bars and restaurants to experience. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Now Draper in Phoenix getting ready for the Kings and the Suns. I'm here in Sacramento. Drapes, hope you were able to enjoy your Super Bowl party with the team yesterday, even though, as you said, the signal went out. We had a really good time at home. Our Super Bowl party was very nice, very, very low key. But my other party I told you about, which was the party I had to celebrate the fact that Kyle Kuzma did not come to the Kings, that was kind of like the Kings at the trade deadline. It's just like nothing happened. So that was kind of a disappointment. But the Super Bowl party was nice, except for, what actually happened in the game.
Hey, I tell you what, we could have used Kyle Kuzma the other day in OKC. That the offense bogged down, the defense still looking suspect.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, man. I'm frustrated right now with this Kings team. And I'm not frustrated at necessarily the record. I'm not frustrated at the effort. I'm frustrated that teams continually get whatever they want offensively against us. Like, this is a major issue, and we got 30 games left to go. Mm-hmm. But we can't stop a nosebleed right now, man.
No, I know. And that's just the way it's going to be, I fear. Thank you for being with us today, and thanks for your comments and your participation on the chat. We have Vac Morales pointing out, I think Vac Morales is right. The rule says both teams have a complete possession to try and score, can end on first down. Game would have gone to the second overtime. That's why the Chiefs were not rushing to run the play. I think maybe they would have switched ends. I don't know. But, yeah, the Chiefs didn't have to worry about the clock running down. They were getting there. They were going to get to play out that possession. And then we also have from Deborah Rickford. Thank you, Deborah. The 2008 quarterback who didn't know the overtime rules was Donovan McNabb. That's right. And he was on the Eagles. There you go. That's what it was.
Oh, my gosh. All right, Deborah, you got that one. You got that one off. You can have that one. Oh, my gosh.
That's what it was. I knew I had it right there on the tip of my
You know what's funny, Whitey, about this show? I got the technical difficulties. I'm a little jet lagged. I'm exhausted. We got my boy Jay behind the board.
Yeah.
If the Niners would have won, he would have ran all kinds of drops of me all season long talking about, I haven't heard one drop of me saying, you know what, Drapes, you're right. You remember Charles Barkley said, that's a great point Kyle Draper makes. I haven't heard that today.
I mean, my boy Dan
over there.
Campbell and company.
Why should you? You're a Packer fan.
I got exactly. I got some things I want to say, but I'm gonna let my Packers do the talking. This
there you go. Is that what you wanted to hear? Thank you, Jay.
Where's the Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes version of that, though?
So that's a great producer. He hears you and he's like, all right, I'll play you some. That's very well done right there. Big time, big time producer. Yeah. The 49ers, by the way, are the betting favorites to win the Super Bowl next year, Kyle.
You know what, Whitey? And this is not a 49ers thing or anything. I learned that getting to the Super Bowl is extremely hard. Look at my Eagles.
Yeah.
And I came into the season thinking, all right, the Eagles are going to come back hungry. They're going to be ready. They're going to make it back. They're the best team. They got talent. And it just doesn't happen that way all the time. And so that's what's if you're a Niners fan, so frustrating. And I know you've been there last few years and everything like that. But, man, I felt like this was your best shot. And who's to say, like if you look at it, the Niners were pretty healthy compared to their historic, they were pretty healthy most of this season. And so I just felt like things, were going their way. It was set up. They had an easy road to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs had a gauntlet, and they still couldn't get it done.
We're going to hear from TC in just a moment, but I want to give you a chance to guess what he's going to say. I think he's going to go after Kyle Shanahan. I don't know. I don't know what he's going to say. That's my guess. Where do you think TC is going on the Super Bowl?
Same thing. Like he's going to come out and say Shanahan has to go.
All right.
That's what he's going to say.
TC with us here at Sactown Sports. What's up, TC?
Hey, y'all completely right. Jay, thank you for the moment, man. Ray, Whitey, let's check it. Hey, check eyes in the fence. No, I'm serious about this dude Shanahan, man. I'm talking about running the ball. Christian ran the ball 22 times. Give it to him 32 times, man. Run the ball and stick to what works. That dude got in his way last night, choked. And listen, you want to get on here talking about you didn't know about the overtime rules, man? You gotta go, man. How you don't know about the overtime rules? How nobody knows about this? Jay York, how you didn't pass that down to the team? That's the cop-out, bro. Everybody want to get on these airwaves. I'm talking about players want to get on talking about, oh, they didn't know. We didn't know. No, bro, we got beaten. We blew that game. Another 10-point lead, another blown 10-point special by Shanahan, bro. That's what I be talking about on this airwaves about that dude, Whitey. And everybody be thinking TC be tripping.
No, I got TC. How old are you, TC, if I may ask? Just about.
38.
Okay, so in your lifetime, see, I'm older than you. I remember the 49ers, and that's like Walsh and Super Bowls. And in your lifetime, it's pretty much like the 49ers get to these big games and they just fold up, right? That's pretty much your life history of the 49ers.
Yes, bro. I've been a Niners fan my whole life. My dad was a Niners fan, bro. I was born into it, and a diehard. Whitey, you older than me, and you know, Whitey. But listen, getting to these big games, and I'm talking about particulars. Yesterday, Jay, I heard Jay earlier. Yesterday hurt worse than 19. And even back on Harbaugh, that hurt yesterday, bro, because we had that game in the bag, and we blew it, dog.
All right. Where do you go from here, TC? What's the first thing you do with the 49ers roster between now and next year?
Right now, we first and foremost, you figure out how you can sign Brandon Ayuk. That's the first thing.
There you go.
And then you go ahead and then you go ahead and fix the offensive line. Also, if you don't get rid of Kyle, you got to demote yourself, bro. We got to bring in another head coach. You got to go to OC, or you have to get an OC, dude. All this your play calling, you got everything under your hands. That has to stop. Kyle has to. If he's not gone, he has to fall all the way back. Like you might have to be another OC again and get a real head coach in, or you might have to continue to be the head coach, but also get a OC in that's capable enough to stand up to you and say, Kyle, no. We're not calling this play. We're calling this play because this is the right thing to do. No, we're going to run the ball 100 times because we're not going to stop it. Like, you get what I'm saying, though, Whitey? Drapes and Jay?
Yeah, we got you. Thank you, TC. Drapes, what do you think would happen if somebody on the 49ers ran up, bumped Shanahan, and yelled at him the way Kelsey yelled at Andy Reid yesterday?
Oh, they would be done.
Yeah.
Right? They'd be benched the second half or something like that. Shanahan ain't playing that.
Yeah.
They'd be gone. Yeah, they'd be cut. Yeah, because you can't have that. Obviously, Kelsey and Andy Reid got a different kind of relationship, but that was pretty ugly. I watched the replay several times, and I'm like, ooh, he actually, gave him the full body shot there.
Yeah, I wonder if the story would be different if they hadn't won, and now everyone can go, no, we love it. Andy Reid say, I love that. He just wants to play. That's, when you win, you can do that kind of stuff. All right, when we come right back, we'll have it. Yeah, the saddest 49er radio call of them all with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Did you know some ordinary cold medicines can raise your blood pressure?
Welcome to a brand new year filled with limitless possibilities at Kia of Vacaville. Prepare yourself for an extraordinary driving adventure as we present our impressive 2024 vehicle lineup. Step into the future with state-of-the-art technology, groundbreaking features, and the sleek design that has become synonymous with Kia. Immerse yourself in the dynamic performance of the all-new Kia Sportage, where captivating design meets exhilarating power. Experience the fuel efficiency of the Kia Niro, a hybrid marvel that extends your journey with every mile. Indulge in the sophistication of the Kia Telluride, seamlessly blending luxury and versatility. Don't overlook our eco-friendly Kia hybrid options, ideal for those who prioritize efficiency without sacrificing style. If you're in search of the EV9, Kia of Vacaville has it in stock or available for delivery. Visit Kia of Vacaville today and cruise into 2024 with confidence and style. Kia of Vacaville, where innovation meets the road. Elevate your drive. Elevate your year. Model availability and features may vary. Please see the dealership for details.
It's a mystery where Old Spice finds its amazing scents like Himalayan sea salt, but I'm thrilled they have because no other body wash exfoliates and moisturizes 24/7 like Old Spice Gentleman's Himalayan sea salt body wash. Now, if only there was a mountain range separating the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau where I could hide my Old Spice and keep my family from stealing it, my impossibly smooth skin will finally be safe.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hagen Oaks is introducing the newly designed Callaway Chrome Tour line of golf balls offering outstanding tour performance. From cover to core, Chrome Tour is the new gold standard tour ball for players who want the best in distance and feel. Chrome Tour is engineered for outstanding performance with exceptional speed, consistent flight, incredible spin, and greenside control. Ask about the full line of Callaway Chrome Tour golf balls at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports. The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Oh, what a Sunday, huh? 49ers suffer another humiliating and crushing Super Bowl defeat. That on top of the Kings getting pushed around by the Thunder in OKC. Kyle Draper joins us from Phoenix. He, of course, had the call yesterday on NBC Sports California. Drapes, one of the things that stands out about the Kings yesterday, the turnovers. You know, they're playing a team that had just played the day before against Dallas, and the Kings were throwing the ball all over the place. What was going on yesterday?
Yeah. I mean, obviously give the Thunder some credit. They're a good defensive team, top 5 defensive team. But 18 turnovers, I don't care who you're going to play. Not only turnovers, Whitey, but the Thunder capitalized on those turnovers. 18 turnovers, 30 points off turnovers. You give up 30 points off turnovers, I mean, there's no way you're going to win that game. And it's just sloppy play. And I'm looking at Domas had 5 turnovers. Malik had 4. De'Aaron 3. It's just sloppy. I mean, and you're not defending either. You know, you give up 54% shooting, 48% from 3-ball range. To me, we can talk about, you know, the offense, and De'Aaron Fox has to be better offensively. But you give up 29 in the first quarter, 38 in the second, 33 in the third. That's your game right there, man. Mm-hmm. This team, its defense has regressed from where it was early in the season, and teams are just knocking down threes at an unbelievable rate against them. I mean, for Oklahoma City, and they're a good 3-point shooting team, I understand that. But when you watch that game, how many open looks did they have? I mean, this has to be driving Mike Brown crazy right now.
I know. We talked about it last week. It's just become one of the unavoidable issues for the Kings this season. The other team's just killing them from the 3-point line. And I think, to me, it's just crystal clear that De'Aaron Fox he's got to be hurt. And I haven't heard anything other than what's, you know, in the public domain. But it's pretty clear that he's hurting. He had a nice game against Denver on Friday because clearly he recognized I'm just not going to take as many shots. And he had a nice floor game, and he did score a little bit. But that's a big issue right now because obviously the Kings don't have a ton of depth, and they rely on their 2 big-name players. And when one of them is hobbled, it's very difficult for them. I don't think there's a team in the league that needs a break right now as much as the Kings do, Kyle.
No, you're right about that, man. And I think they need a physical break. I also think they need a mental break. I think they need to get away from basketball, go enjoy time with their families, go relax. Here's the thing about De'Aaron Fox. He scored fewer than 20 points in each of the last 4 games. 15, 15, 12, and 19. Like, this is a guy, and I mentioned it last week, his main job, he has 2 jobs, to get buckets and to defend the heck out of the ball. Right now, he's not getting buckets. I mean, he hasn't shot over 50% for a game in his last 4. You know, Chicago, he went off, had 41. Then he had 25 the game before that. It's interesting because our boy Kevin O'Connor, he had an interesting tweet where he talked about De'Aaron Fox. And when you look at De'Aaron Fox 3-point shooting, as great as it was to start the season, I got the numbers right here. Over the last 12 games, he's shooting 30% from 3.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the 3-ball is failing him right now. And when that's not going in, now he's not getting back to driving to the basket. He's not getting back to the mid-range game. Look at his free throw attempts, Whitey. He has 7 free throw attempts over the last 4 games. How about this? He's 1 for his last 7 from the free throw line.
Yeah. So to me, it's
like, he needs a break.
Yeah.
He needs some time off. I agree. And we talked about this, though, Whitey.
Mm-hmm.
Why not give him a game or 2 off? I know the All-Star break is coming up, so he'll have some time then. But I'm not opposed to, at some point, even in the second half of the season, over the last 30 games, if need be, giving De'Aaron a game or 2 off. He shouldn't need it, but maybe this should have happened in January.
Yeah.
Where you give him a couple of games off or something like that, because clearly he's not the same guy right now.
Yeah, and I would think it's the right shoulder, which we saw him get, it's been banged around this year, got banged around in Chicago, and he hadn't been shooting the ball well since then. And it's very admirable that he's trying to play through this, and he recognizes how important he is to the team, but other teams play him, and they know that, A, these guys aren't going to guard you, and B, right now Fox is not Fox. So, hang on through the rest of this week with a difficult back-to-back coming up. I do have some. You want to hear who's on the buyout market, Kyle? Do you care about that at all?
You can say it. I looked at the list, but I'll let you go ahead, Whitey. Get your things off. Go for it, man.
All right. Well, I'll read the names, and you stop me as soon as you hear somebody that you might have any interest in. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Do that. And I got about 12 names here. I got Davis Bertans. Okay. Seth Curry. Evan Fournier. No, I know we were having connection issues with Kyle, but I don't think that's the problem.
I'm here. I'm still waiting.
Danilo Gallinari. No. Okay. Hey, free agent. This guy used to be just a pistol of a shooter. Joe Harris. No, these are guys on the could be available in the buyout market. There's a lot of French guys. Killian Hayes. No. Corey Joseph. Furkan Korkmaz.
Oh my gosh!
No, that's. Does that mean yes? Does that mean you're interested?
No, not at all. It means this list is going from bad to worse.
You'll love. Yeah, I know you want this guy, though. I hear he may be already talking to Minnesota. Marcus Morris.
Ooh, that is my guy. That is my guy. I don't think we need Marcus Morris though.
Thaddeus Young. Yeah.
Nah. Same position as Trey Lyles.
James Book Knight.
Wow, dude. Where are you finding this list? Under the bottom of your shoe or something? Where is this coming from?
These are people that are expected to be available in the buyout market. I only have two more. I have Daniel House and I have, for old time's sake, can you give me how about it for Chimezi Metu?
Give me my boy Chimezi.
Okay.
Give me Chimezi. It's that bad out there, huh?
That's apparently, yeah. Some of those guys, we're not even sure they're going to be available. We just think they might be. And the Kings do have a full roster right now, right? So they'd have to probably cost them a little bit just to clear a space.
Yeah, you're right about that because they converted that Keon Ellis.
Yeah.
Gave him a contract. And so, and all those guys you mentioned, none of them addresses what we just talked about, the defense. None of them are 3-and-D guys. And so right now, I feel like the Kings are stuck. This is going to be the roster. I think if you're Monty McNair, the task this offseason is clear. You need to get some 3-and-D guys, some positional length out there. And none of those guys on the buyout market, supposedly, none of them will solve the issue. I looked at the numbers, Whitey. Right now, the Kings are in dead last in three-point defense. After that game, the other night, yesterday, they are now dead last behind the Hornets in three-point defense. That's just, unbelievable.
Yeah,
how bad this team is defending the three.
Yeah, you need, as you pointed out, 3-and-D guys, and in the buyout market, there's a lot of 2 and no D guys, and that's right. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. And then tonight, a big night for the Kings, even though they don't play, Kyle, because Denver, Golden State, the Clippers, the Pelicans, Dallas, Utah, and Minnesota do all play tonight. And if those teams get hot, all of a sudden the Kings wake up, look at the standings, and say,
No, you're right. And I'll be keeping an eye on those games. The Warriors, how about the Warriors and what they've been able to do? Steph Curry is just insane right now. And you're right, man. This is it's never too early to scoreboard watch because especially in the Western Conference with things so tight as it is. Right now, you're the 7th seed. Like, you need the Pelicans to lose tonight so you can jump back up into that 6th seed. So it's going to be tough to all these games down the stretch.
Now, before we take a quick time out, I got to ask you about your guy, Grant Williams. Did you hear what he said after he went to Charlotte and they won a game?
What did he say?
He said, well, it's nice to be somewhere where we all touch the ball and guys are playing more for the name on the front of the jersey than they are for the one on the back.
And he's talking about, first of all, Charlotte, right?
Yes.
He's a Charlotte fan. Think about that. Now, who's he taking a shot at? Luka Doncic, right?
Yeah.
That's how I read that.
Yeah.
Luka pounding the ball, and then you got Kyrie also. They tell Grant to just stand in the corner and wait for it. That's no fun for a player. I would love Grant Williams in Sacramento. Have I gone on record in saying that?
I think you have.
I would love to. Yeah, that dude could help us out. I would love Grant in Sac.
Yeah. Well, that ship has sailed for now, so we will see. But let me know if you change your mind about any of those buyout candidates, okay?
All right, let me go research their numbers. I might come back with that.
Yeah. So you said Chimezie would be kind of cool, and under different circumstances, Marcus Morris would have been your guy. That's the best you can do.
Yeah.
For us, yeah.
You know what though? If Davion hasn't been playing so well, I would even take a flyer on Killian Hayes.
Wow.
Believe it or not, I would.
Whoa.
That's just me though. He's 22 years old, but he's sort of a malcontent, and Davion's playing well. We just gave a contract to Keon Ellis. We don't need him, but I do think there's a reason why this guy was a lottery pick. I don't think he's totally a bum, but we don't need him in Sacramento.
He was a number 7 pick in 2020, but the Kings need defense, and Killian Hayes, he could not guard a bank if you gave him a gun and a whistle. Just
and a whistle?
Yes, nothing. Just so I don't think he's a good fit. But thanks, Drapes. We will catch up to you again tomorrow as we get ready for the Kings and the Suns. Of course, we got some connection issues with Drapes. Anytime the rest of the day you feel like popping back in, you think of something nice you want to say about Brock Purdy, you just let us know.
I didn't even go in on Brock Purdy. I took it light, nice and easy on him. I thought he was average at best yesterday. He missed some throws out there. And so I'm going to let, all the Niners fans and everything, you know what? Deal with the loss. I'll have that tape tomorrow for you. How about that?
Are you going to post a picture of your Eagles sarape?
I think I will. I might change that to my profile picture, actually.
All right. You need a matching Eagles.
Be in it, though.
Yeah. Yes. And you need a matching Eagles sombrero.
Sombrero.
Yeah. Yes.
Hey, I told you I had the Purdy jersey ready just in case. I was ready. A man of my word.
You're going to need that about 1 year from today, so you keep that handy.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Drapes.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
All right, Dale.
When we come right back, the saddest 49er radio call of them all. Speaking of calls, we'll get to your calls, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140 to drive guys a day after another tough Super Bowl for the Niners on Sactown Sports.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the 3. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Welcome to the President's Day sale, happening now at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Celebrate with us and get huge savings on our giant selection. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company, sold on report.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
It happened again, 49er fans. How many times has it been now? I guess you got to go back to 2012, right? And the NFC Championship game and the loss to the Giants, the Kyle Williams game, and then the Super Bowl against the Ravens where it looked like, it was pass interference at Crabtree. Why didn't they run the ball? And then the next year, speaking of Crabtree, the famous Crabtree game. I told you he's average. The loss to Seattle. I remember John Gruden on the radio the next day saying, I don't know if the team can come back from losses like that. And it took a while. And then the 49ers, you get Kyle, and then you get the 10-point lead in the Super Bowl, and they lose the game. And then you get the 10-point lead against the Rams. And then you get last year's debacle. And then this year, another 10-point lead. It's not easy being a Niner fan these days. You know, Jay was there. Jay was at the Super Bowl. In the old days, people would be talking now about the curse. I don't know what it is.
Yes.
The curse of the 49ers. It's been 30 years, and they can't win the big games. The sourdough curse, the Kaepernick curse, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I've been getting. You know, I've been getting that a lot, the Kaepernick curse. It's, you know, who knows, man.
Yeah.
The flip, the bounce of the ball, the flip of the ball. You know, we've talked about the ball hitting Luter's foot to, you know, Juwan Jennings being open to just OT scoring a field goal, not a touchdown. You know, so many different things. And when we could pinpoint, and Drape said this a little earlier, when you lose a Super Bowl, we pinpoint everything.
Yeah.
Every single thing. The 49ers, you know, if you believe they're cursed or it's bad luck or things just haven't went their way, it's been some crushing blows over the last 15 years. Yeah, it really has, man.
It has been. It's not just the fans who feel it. This was the call yesterday on our station. Greg Pop and Tim Ryan with a fateful final call on the Chiefs Super Bowl win.
7 seconds, 6. They are going to snap it. Mahomes going to roll to his right, throws, touchdown. The Chiefs have won the Super Bowl. Nicole Hardman. As they roll Mahomes right, Nicole Hardman is wide open. And the Chiefs win the Super Bowl back-to-back years.
And then at one point, Tim Ryan says, dang it. And the thing about Papa, do you know Pop at all? You know,
I saw Pop I saw Pop at a post media party Thursday night. Yeah,
I bet you did.
Saw a post. Yeah.
He is, you know, very professional, and right there, you know, through the pain, he's like, I've got to tell people what happened. I don't like what happened, but I got to tell people what happened.
Okay, now real quick though, Whitey, the only thing I have about this situation, Papa's a legend when it comes to Bay Area being a voice guy. Now he's done other stuff. But he ain't been riding with the Niners through all of this.
I know.
So, yeah, I don't feel that bad for Pop, to be honest, like that. I mean, not to say, you know, he's been around this. He's been a radio host in the Bay Area for many moons. He bleeds the Bay Area, you know, not like that. But Pop, he wasn't around in 09. He wasn't here in 11, you know, so he didn't have to call those games and travel with those guys and, you know, take the plane home ride back. You know, so he's a Johnny-come-lately with the 49ers right now.
That's true.
Yeah.
But he did go through 2020.
Yes.
And then the NFC Championship game loss to the Rams, and then last year the Eagles game, and then this one. It's funny you say that because I still may this week, I was going to reach out to Ted Robinson.
Oh, I know, man. The legend.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I'll bet you he
We
would
can get Ted
jump
on.
He would jump on with this.
Of course.
And he was Greg Papa's predecessor, so he knows something about those tough losses as well.
Very much so.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Steve, what do you make of what happened to the 49ers yesterday? Where did it all go wrong, Steve?
Well, I think everybody just needs to just calm down, relax. Was it TC that called him before that wants Shanahan's head on a stick?
Yeah, but he's been consistent with that all year, so yeah.
Yeah, but here's the problem, though. I mean, I saw this when Rick Adelman couldn't get over on the Lakers. He was horrible. He gets run out of town, and wouldn't you know, it's 20 years before the Kings get back to the playoffs. The one time that they did, they had Mike Malone come in, but they got rid of him a lot quicker than they should have. And look at Andy Reid in Philadelphia, who couldn't win there. They ran him out of town. So I guess what I'm saying is, before we start, you know, serving these guys up, I think it's important to remember that winning and losing in the Super Bowl at this level is razor thin. I think what got the Niners was the special teams. They lost 8 points in special teams, basically on 2 plays. You know, their kicker, even for KC, that was a line drive he hit. That wasn't like a great kick. I mean, you know, so sometimes the luck just goes the wrong way. I mean, who would have thought that Greenlaw breaks his Achilles? Debo had a hamstring too, by the way.
Yeah.
So, you know, in terms of him getting open against their linebacking core,
good point.
If you're not 100%, that's clear. And then Kittle had toe issues. It wasn't a turf toe, but he had some foot stuff going into the game too. So those are the kind of the small things that make you say, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I mean, even Trent Williams, you know, he's had a nagging groin injury all year, and they held him out of practice earlier in the week. So you never know where that's concerned. And if you really break it down in statistics, yards per play, you know, San Francisco was 5.4. They were 5.8. Red zone, We were 50%. They were 2 of 6. Penalties were equal. Turnovers were equal. So it's not as though Shanahan got outclassed. And I think, everybody was very scared coming into the game, seeing what happened against Green Bay and Detroit. But the team showed up. And I think, his scripted plays that he had at the beginning of the game, I mean, it was a phenomenal start. And you have a fumble that, again, McCaffrey, 3 fumbles in 400 attempts. I mean, so winning and losing razor thin. Don't completely blow the whole thing up. Keep the culture going, tweak it, spend a little bit more money than you maybe want to get yourself over the top. But now is not the time to freak out, because I think we'll end up going way far back instead of going forward.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate that. Some great points. One point you made, you touched on something that was really kind of making me anxious from the 49ers standpoint. Jay, the 49ers, they had this week, they got the number 1 seed, of course, so they had an extra week off. Then they have the 2 games, then you get another week off, then you have the Super Bowl. And they were still banged up, right?
Yes.
They were still yesterday.
They stayed hurt.
They have so many guys, so many key players who 49ers, since Shanahan's been there, and I'm not saying this is his fault, but they've had a lot of injuries. Is it the way he preaches, just the recklessness after catch? Is it just bad luck? Is it just football and guys are going to get hurt? I don't know. But yesterday, all right, a Super Bowl, they've had a time off. They're going to be healthy, and they were not healthy yesterday. And so I think that raises questions about keeping this core together going forward. But I agree with you completely, Steve, that Shanahan's got to be your guy. I mean, you look at how they struggled between Harbaugh and Shanahan. It's like, oh, my goodness. You think this is tough, losing the Super Bowl? You think that's tough? How about AC with us here on Sactown Sports? Hello, AC. How are you today?
Hey, I'm doing great because I was rooting for the Chiefs yesterday.
I'll call you KC.
But then, yeah, right. And then
AC, wait, real quick, who's your team?
I'm a Dolphins fan.
Okay.
Yeah, and you want to talk about injuries? We had 25% of our roster injured. That was really tough. We could have gone farther. Anyway, the Niners are going to be one of those teams you're not going to remember this year unless you're a Niners fan, because nobody remembers the loser of the Super Bowl. Now we can put away those bandwagon fans for another year. The Niners probably have the biggest troop of bandwagon fans in the NFL. So it's really nice to not have to put up with that once more.
All right.
What makes you say that? What makes you say they have the biggest troop of bandwagon fans?
Maybe it's because I live in Northern California.
I think that might be it. Yeah, I was wondering where you were going there.
You don't hear anything about it, and then on social media you see all this stuff. Oh, Niners have the best record. Oh, Niners have the number 1 seed. And I'm like, don't get ahead of yourself, man. You got to win the big one. But it was a great game. You guys would probably agree. I would say top 5, maybe top 3 Super Bowls of all time. What do you think?
Thank you, AC, for the call. I wouldn't go that far, I don't think. And it was a very competitive game. So you're right. I mean, it was an entertaining game all the way through. But, there were stretches of that game where it's like,
what's going on here?
Happening?
Yeah, snail mail.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at the history of the Super Bowl, there have been some more entertaining games, but it was a competitive game. And, yeah, I mean, this. 49er fans are going to remember this year for a long time. Of course.
Yeah, there's a couple things I disagree with KC there. I know his name is AC, but KC. Because he's rooting for the Chiefs, which kills me, right? But I think two things I disagree with there, Whitey. We do remember the losers of the Super Bowl, especially if there's something like the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, yeah.
Or, your team has something to be involved with it. We remember the Tennessee Titans coming up short. We remember the Raiders coming up short on the Charles Woodson and Tom Brady Super Bowl. Even though that wasn't a Super Bowl. But I say to say we remember losers. So I disagree with that. The other part to that is this is something that I have friends who are Laker fans. And
they're your friends?
I know. They've grown up with me. But
you're very tolerant.
I am, man. Yeah. Very patient, right?
Yeah.
Living in LA for 12 years or whatever, they don't understand. They feel as if Sacramento Kings fans are the worst, right? And part of it is because they've never won anything, but second is because you live in this area.
Yeah.
So you get to hear all the, the mumbo jumbo that's happening. Now, social network has definitely created something, but there's something we call algorithms. They know where you live at, KC. They know what's popping off. They know what to send you. And so I argue my friends this all the time. When I was living in LA, the Lakers fans, which they were some of the worst fans to be around. right? And it's because you live there, so you get to hear You get to hear about the Celtics this and the Kings this, and I can't stand it, So it happens everywhere. I understand the Niners have crushed your spirit a few times there, Casey, and especially back in '85, got the tap dance on Dan Marino and everything, but. We're not the worst. We're okay. We're patient.
See, you remember, we were, like you said, we remember the Dolphins team that got destroyed by Joe Montana and Ronnie Lott and those guys.
Didn't even know they were on the field.
Quick timeout. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We're here for you today. It may not have mattered, but the 49ers didn't know the overtime rules. Next year with the Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Skies will stay partly cloudy through the night tonight. Lows will drop down into the upper 30s to about 40. Tomorrow, look for partly cloudy skies with highs around 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA 3 app.
When it's chilly cold at night, don't just add another blanket. Add a new furnace system instead. Now for as low as $5,999 with 0% interest and no payments for 18 months. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain, very intense. It can make your eyes water. It makes you walk funny because you're trying to get pressure off your heel. I had instability. I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And I was driving past the Good Feet store. I mean, why not? Give it a try.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure they fitted me with the right thing. And so they brought out several different arch supports and gave me the opportunity to try them in shoes and walk around with them until they found the perfect ones for my feet. I had no idea that they would be that patient, and I had no idea they would be that kind. And you just knew, like, your feet, just when they got on the right ones, they were like, oh yeah. And it really did make a big difference. It made my foot not hurt. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-1748. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-1748. That's 800-575-1748. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Get ready for an exciting drive in the 2024 Kia Forte GT line, now at Elk Grove Kia for just $19,988. Experience efficiency with an impressive 39 mpg, smooth rides with automatic transmission, and stay on track with a lane departure warning system for only $19,988. Enjoy modern conveniences with its huge 10.25-inch touchscreen with navigation and a rear camera, Bluetooth wireless technology, and the ease of push-button start for only $19,988. Or lease this incredible ride with no cash out of pocket for only $279 per month plus tax. You heard right. No money down and only $279 plus tax. Elk Grove Kia, where driving dreams come true. Visit us today in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovekia.com. Sale price $20,738. Dealer choice rebate $750. Net price $19,988. Must finance through Kia Finance 5 at this price. 24 months with zero cash down. Residual of $63,950 based at $10K per year. 20 cents a month over reserve security deposit. Kia Tier 1 approval required. Expires 2/15/2024.
Elk Grove Kia.
Your new home for 49ers football in the 916 Sactown Sports.
None of us have a ton of experience of it, but we went through all the analytics and talked to those guys, and we just thought it'd be better. We wanted the ball third. If both teams matched and scored, we wanted to be the ones who had the chance to go win, and we got that field goal, so we knew we had to hold them to at least to a field goal, and if we did, then we put it was in our hands after that.
Kyle Shanahan after the game explaining to the media why he decided to take the ball first in the new overtime rules. I know some 49ers have made some headlines today because they said they didn't know the overtime rules. It hasn't really made headlines, but Patrick Mahomes says when he completed the game-winning pass to Nicole Hardman, he said he had to tell Hardman, no, we won. So there were a lot of people that didn't know the rules because they had changed them. Kyle Shanahan, to me, that made sense the way they played it. I know I mentioned this earlier, but according to Mike Sando in The Athletic, Mike Sando said he got a text from a former coach. And the coach said, that is a big mistake as it was happening. Big mistake. And I think Mike Sando said, well, maybe he thinks his defense is tired. And the coach said, that may be, but that's the wrong way to play that. Ultimately, they didn't end up with the win. But to me, that's not something I would point to as a reason why the 49ers lost the game, because to me, the thinking made sense. Yeah, we scored, they scored, then we're gonna get the ball. Big mistake, a former head coach texted. What if Shanahan felt he needed to rest his defense? Maybe, the coach replied, but you can't give up the advantage. KC went for it on fourth down because they had to. Big mistake. I don't know, Jay. I'm okay with it. Mistake or not, I think the reasoning was pretty sound. Doesn't always work out for you, though.
I get it. I mean, look, one thing Draper said is we don't want to play Monday morning quarterback, even though we do. We do. That's part of our job. That's what we're supposed to do. Again, I'll say it for the 42nd time today. There are 2 to 3, 4, 5, 6 different things we could point to that the 49ers didn't accomplish, execute, and that did get done. If you want to blame it on the football guys, the bounce of the ball, Shanahan, which I'm pretty sure, a lot of people, I think there's a combination of it, but I do think there's a hierarchy of it too. And I can understand why some people can second guess it. And I can also understand, the thinking behind
and
what
this
he's
was first
saying.
guessing, apparently.
Sure, of course.
As you said, some of yours was yesterday when you were at the game.
Yes, there was a few things. I was like, I like to see it go the other way. But I can understand and respect that the 49ers had every opportunity to take the game. I just thought Shanahan fell to the wayside in a few different avenues that people, his detractors, have said. They've continued to keep on saying. I go back to one of the callers, TC. One of the times every time TC comes on here, I don't care if you're talking about the Kings or not, he talks about Shanahan and some of the things, his decisions that he doesn't like. And I can't disagree with them.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Ramsey has been hanging on. Hey, Ramsey, you're on the drive, guys. What's up?
Not too much. First off, I'm going to preface, I watched none of the game yesterday.
Wow.
I had no interest.
Okay.
Because I'm a Raiders fan and don't like either one of the teams.
I could understand that.
So I'm just glad. First off, I commend the Phoenix Open for going to the playoff. That was my form of entertainment. But as Jay and I talked, my joy is not for Jay, but it's for those San Francisco fans that love to chirp, love to talk all the time like they're the best thing since sliced bread, and aren't humble when they take the loss. Like those San Francisco fans that were talking, oh, thanks Raiders for letting us borrow your stadium. That's just where the Super Bowl just happened to be. That's all it is. What, you gonna tell the next fan base that if you make the Super Bowl again? And they should have known. They should have known. Plus, the national narrative, as they said, you can't pick against Patrick Mahomes, and he proved it once again, time and time again. I've seen it as a Raiders fan, so I know.
All right, Ramsey. Thank you very much. I will say this is what I said last week, and I did pick against him when I was wrong, but I picked him when he went against Tom Brady. In the pandemic year, was in 2021. And you can't bet against Patrick Mahomes. Well, I bet on him and he lost. So don't tell me you got to pick Patrick Mahomes. Now, yesterday, it didn't work out. But it's interesting The 49ers are a team. There's a lot of resentment against them, isn't there? Because they're very popular.
Yep.
But they haven't won, and I totally understand the Raider thing. I mean, the Raiders and 49ers. No matter where the Raiders play, Raiders and 49ers are not going to be friendly.
And let me say this. I've been in Ramsey's position where I can't stand either team, and I'm out too. Like, I'm not watching the Super Bowl. I could care less. And if it is, it's background noise, and I'm doing something.
Golf instead of the Super Bowl?
Well, I'm not a golf guy, so you're asking the wrong person. But to whatever floats your boat. Now, if it was, basketball or boxing or something like that was on at the same time, which would be foolish, which is part of the reason why I don't like golf. Look at you. You're going against the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
For what? What's
the
ratings?
I think it was on before. Wasn't it?
Yeah,
It went into extra.
But
goals. Yeah.
my thing with that is I can understand where Ramsey's going, because there's been a couple of Super Bowls where, and I don't like not only the teams, but I don't really root for the people, the main people, the quarterback. So I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out.
Well, the worst one to me, I mean, aside from the blowouts, way back when every year was a blowout. But that game I mentioned when the Chiefs and Tampa Bay played, and it was the pandemic, and there was like nobody there. It was weird.
But you wouldn't tie it into Brady.
Destroyed him.
Yeah, you wouldn't be tied into Brady just to see the greatness of Brady. And I guess you could say that with Pat Mahomes.
Kinda, but it was just the atmosphere was for a Super Bowl. Nobody there. I remember I'd have watched, but it was like, this is just odd. Yeah. It just felt really weird. A Super Bowl with no fans was really weird.
Well, we were going through odd times there. Why?
Yes,
There were a bunch of different events where, boxing. I go to boxing. You would have big time fights, and you would have 11 people there.
Yeah.
And there were trainers cutting in, the referee, television. I mean, that's weird.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things when people detract from boxing, I always say the one thing boxing still has is if it's a huge fight, there's nothing that compares to it.
Mm-hmm.
If you've been in an arena in-house to watch a huge fight with two names, nothing compares to that.
Yeah. Closest I've been to that was big time wrestling when I was like 10 years old.
Big time wrestling.
Yeah. Kyle joins us here, Sactown Sports. Hello, Kyle.
Hey, how's it going?
You tell me. We're making a list here of what went wrong for the Niners. What do you have for us?
I want to bash Kyle Shanahan. I want to give big ups to TC.
Yeah.
I got a lot to say because, I've been a 49er fan my life.
Okay.
I remember Wino Tittle. I can tell y'all some stories. I can tell y'all some names and have a head spinning.
Sure.
I bash Steve Young so bad, who played for 10 years and never got a ring until Deion Sanders saved him in a championship game. But yet Steve Young, they give so much credit that Steve Young got his one little ring, but wasn't for Deion Sanders, Steve Young would have zero.
Wait, hold on real quick, Kyle. Why did Deion save Steve Young that year? Because the defense didn't have to do nothing.
Oh, my gosh. You did not watch the championship game. Steve Young never got through Dallas Cowboys and
Eric
never
Davis
got
had the
through
first
Green Bay
pick, though. But Eric Davis had the first pick, did he not?
The defense, if you listen to his interview, Deion Sanders credits everything to the defense. San Francisco defense won Green Bay to get us to the Super Bowl when we played that Chargers.
Gotcha.
It was not Steve Young. And Ricky Waters won that game.
Won what game?
Ricky Waters
Super Bowl?
Super Bowl?
Yeah, but everyone, I didn't call this off Steve Young, but
I'm just testing your 49er. You said to ask you anything, so we were just testing.
Okay,
go ahead, though.
No.
Go ahead with your Super Bowl.
You made your point. What do you got on Kyle Shanahan?
Okay, yeah. So as most people love Steve Young, and he gave us so many miseries outside of Deion Sanders, one Super Bowl where he got with us. Same with Kyle Shanahan. What has this guy ever done? Everyone's in love with him. And I'm like, why? This is a coach who gives up a victory when you're up 28 points to 3 points. He gives up a victory. That's point A. Point B, you're in love with a guy. You're up in the second half by double digits. You lose a game. Your third time, you're up in the second half again, 10 points. You lose a game. Then they say, scheme. I say this. You scheme if you're the worse or weaker team. But if you got Trent Williams, if you got Debo, if you got Juszczyk, if you got C-Mac, you line up and you tell them, I'm going right here with a 1-2 punch all game long, and I'm telling C-Mac, I'm telling Debo, I'm hiking the ball straight to you. Just give me 3 yards. We're stronger. We're bigger. If you look at the first quarter when we just played downhill football, I'm not scheming. I'm picking on one guy. They say Jones is a beast. All right, Jones, I'm going to break your back with every play. I'm running straight to you with so much power in Trent Williams going forward, Juszczyk going forward, Debo going forward, and T-Mac. I'm getting rid of all the stupid schemes. I'm going to finish. I'm not going to play like how Shanahan all these schemes when you got the stronger and bigger team and you're not even using it.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you very much for calling and listening. Feel your frustration. The 49ers did come out. I'll just say this. They came out first quarter. It's like, whoa, that's the 49ers again. You know, after the Green Bay game where they were wandering around and the Detroit game where they just gave the first half away, they came out crisply yesterday. But you have to give credit to Shanahan because, remember, those are the scripted plays.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I thought the first drive looked like they were marching in.
Yes, they
and
were.
McCaffrey fumbled.
I know.
Yeah, it happened. I totally understand Kyle's frustration. I also understand as a 49er fan where he's coming from in the fact of this. Shanahan has been called the boy genius. And there are times, and this is why I go back to some of the callers and the texters and people on YouTube. I can understand why they have a beef with Shanahan. There are certain times where it just goes awry, and we've seen other coaches. It happens, right? We just talked about Dan Campbell a couple of weeks ago. We've seen, let's not forget, Andy Reid was right in this position.
Absolutely.
Couldn't win a Super Bowl.
Right.
Got there.
He can't win the big game.
Can't win the big game.
Offensive genius, but he can't win the big game.
Absolutely. So it's not like it can't be done, but I have to, until we see it with our own two eyes, I have to agree with a lot of what, the hiccups that Kyle has. Sometimes it just doesn't play out the best. And of course it's bad luck. It could be, whatever you want to call it. I truly believe he's a good coach. I agree that maybe he could relent on certain things? Absolutely. 100%. I think if he, and it seems like, Whitey, that Shanahan has always been kind of looking for his guy, that quarterback. And maybe Kirk Cousins was that, but I don't think he's really ever found his perfect guy.
Mm-hmm.
From what we see, this is like Brock Purdy is starting to be massaged into his guy.
Yep.
It's only Purdy's season and a half, whatever you want to call it, second season. I don't want to say you got to give him more time, but I would like to see a few tweaks from Shanahan. And I can understand where Kyle and the TCs of the world come from.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yes. We will take a look at how many roster changes the 49ers might have to make this offseason, and we'll get back to your calls. So hang on. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. And with your help, putting together a list of the things that we can all agree. Yeah, these are the reasons why the 49ers lost the Super Bowl as we roll on here, the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold during the Niners at 9 every weekday at 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
When the unexpected happens, trust AutoAccident.com. Loyalty and compassion set them apart. They're with you every step of the way. AutoAccident.com. That's AutoAccident.com.
Toyota's President's Day sales event is on. Now is your chance to save big with the best deals of the year on legendary Toyota trucks. Don't miss out. Right now, get $750 cash back on the powerful 2024 Tundra, or see your dealer for details on the all-new redesigned 2024 Tacoma. Hurry in for these President's Day deals and more. Get to your Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Excludes TRD Pro. Ends 3/4/24.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo, with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. Plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Hobler Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center.
Hey, it's Carmichael, Dave. I got good news.
The American Energy Heat and Air $0 HVAC diagnostic has been extended to February 29th. That's right. It expired at the end of January, but want to give you all an opportunity who missed out to get in. It's a $99 value. All right, it's $100, and right now it's free. I don't know how much easier I can pitch that. Normally $100, now $0. Let the American Energy team test your system, your connections, and all the moving parts of that system to make sure it's functioning properly. And you know who's going to be coming to your home? A group of people that have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. A group of folks that have been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. $0 HVAC diagnostic. Normally a $100 value right now at American Energy Heat and Air. Go to AmericanEnergyAir.com or call them to make your appointment. 916-520-9990.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
You know what makes me shake my head is watching the post-game news conferences yesterday, and I was watching a lot of NBC Sports Bay Area, and they had like basically a 49er post-game show, and Carlos Ramirez was like, I'll be honest with you, I can't talk, I'm devastated. But they show the players, all the players' press conferences, and the coaches, and they all get the same questions, Jay.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of it is, how much does it hurt? Does it hurt more than when you lost this game? And, you know, it's like those guys, the players and the coaches do such a great job for the most part of sitting there and trying to answer that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, think about it. Who was it? I think it was Juwan Jennings said, well, does anyone have a nail you can
it's like
step
stepping on
right
a
now?
nail.
Yeah. But, I mean, how are you supposed to does this one hurt compared to the last one you lost to the Chiefs, more or less, George Kittle? That's got to be very difficult. Yeah. What do we have here?
I said that, Juwan. You want to hear him talk about the nail real quick?
Yeah, here's Juwan Jennings.
How much does it hurt? Yeah. Oh, man. Anybody got a nail he can step on? It's probably about that much.
He might have been in line for some MVP consideration.
Oh, he was winning the MVP. Not in line. He was winning the MVP. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Throw one, catch one. You know, I mean, who else? If it wasn't Double J, who was it going to be?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who did you have?
I mean, maybe they could have spun it into McCaffrey. I'm not saying they should have, but you know the way voters work. But yeah, Juwan Jennings would have been.
He was the MVP.
And that touchdown he scored was one of the weirdest yards after catch I've ever seen because he was backwards and he basically stopped, right?
Yes.
Kind of looked around like,
kind of spin.
No one's going to tackle me. Yeah. And he took it into the end zone.
Yeah.
And at that point, I don't know. Wow, the 49ers were winning, but it didn't feel like, oh, they're going to win. It just felt like, okay, they're ahead for now. And Debo, when they showed Debo at the end of the game and he was sitting there, and it just looked to me like his face was like, are we going to win? I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, see, I wasn't privy to that because I'm inside the arena, so I didn't get to see that. I will go back to this. Our 49ers insider, Milford Goso, he kept saying throughout the whole game, and I'm more half glass full guy. I'm more, I played very aggressive when I played sports, and, just because I had to. I felt like I had to prove a point because playing baseball, but he kept saying, I don't like the way this game looks. I don't like the way this game looks. It doesn't look good to me. I just don't like it. And I kept saying, behind that, I was like, nah, come on, we're right there. Because I also felt as much as people, and this is me talking. And, you can call in right now, 916-339-1140 and call me crazy. I'm the type of person, I believe you got to go win a game. I don't think you fall in the wins. And you do fall in the wins. But I think you have to put yourself
in the Super Bowl.
Correct. You have to put yourself in position to go win a game. And as you said right there, Whitey, 9 times out of 10 to win a Super Bowl, most people who play aggressive or, play to go win, they normally win. And I just didn't feel like the Niners did that when it really counted. I don't think they put the best foot forward. And we could, as you said, we have a laundry list of reasons why. But, man, it just hurts a little more that they had, I got to hear the Pat Mahomes and I got to hear the Taylor Swift. I wish Draper was here because I talk about how bad I want to see Taylor Swift taking a loss and, all the things that encompass in it. But, and I just said this to you in the break, they truly had Pat Mahomes down twice.
Yes.
And he should have won.
Yeah.
And they gave both of them to Pat Mahomes, and now we got to talk about his greatness. Like, he didn't play well yesterday.
I know where
he played cool.
Yeah. He did what he had to do when the 49ers gave him an opportunity to do it, and he took advantage, and that's being a champion. The 49ers, though, I would say just early mistakes. To me, that's maybe at the top of my list, because I think the early mistakes they made, McCaffrey's fumble, and then, as we said earlier, Trent Williams, back-to-back penalties on a false start and then a holding, and then the 2nd and 15.
Yeah, the hold in the third quarter, right? Or fourth quarter. One of them that was big, too.
Maybe you said he was kind of hobbled a little bit.
Yeah, he looked a little hobbled. He looked like he was getting he was getting worked on that side.
That's when he rocks, right? It's like, well, we know we got that side of the line under control. Yeah, so
he wasn't as dominant.
They should have been ahead at halftime, like 20-3.
Easy.
And when they weren't, then you knew it's like, all right,
2 scores.
Yeah,
left the door open, as you said. Left the door open.
Make you regret that. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Lorenzo joining us here, Sactown Sports. Hello, Lorenzo. How are you?
Hey, guys. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes. What's up?
Awesome. Well, thank you. I love you guys' show. Best thing that I have while I'm driving home. So thank you for the amazing show you guys put together.
Thank you.
So I think the Niners lost the same way the Kings did lose to the last year on the playoff against the Warriors.
Really?
We didn't have the experience. I mean, the Kings played a better regular season, so did the Niners. But at the same time, it takes a different mentality. It takes a different team to win big games. And I think the Niners just came short. But if you look even the games before that, they almost lost to the Packers. The Packers were not even supposed to be in the playoff. They won by miracle against the Detroit because the coach of the Detroit makes some wrong calls. So I think the 49ers were exposed early on the playoff. And then the Chiefs are a little bit of more experienced team. And I think the only plus that the Chiefs had yesterday, I think, was the experience on major games. I could be wrong, but you can do those mistakes that the Niners did in several occasions.
Mm-hmm.
That's my take on the Niners. And then on the Kings, man, I'm a diehard Kings fan. My God, I can't watch anything else when the Kings are playing. But recently, Fox has been killing us, and it hurts. Should we bench him for a few games, or should the coach make that decision? Just rest a little bit. I know you guys talked about it, that he's playing and he's trying to prove that he can play through, but he's hurting. He's hurting the team. Monk is playing amazingly. Give Mitchell a little bit of more chance. We signed Keon Ellis. Give him another chance, and let's just play with those guys while Fox will bring his game back, because I believe he's an all-star. He's an all-star, and he will be an all-star. He will be a starter one day, but he needs to be a little bit more humble in his game and let the other team players carry the torch for him.
Thank you, Lorenzo. We got a lot of calls, so I want to keep it moving. Thank you very much for the call. As far as De'Aaron Fox goes, I think he's hurt, and that's just me talking. I think his shoulder is messed up, so he can't shoot. But I also think, they're not that deep, especially at that position, and he's one of their better defenders. And I think the calculation now is we're better off with him compromised, a lot better with him compromised than we are with him off the floor. So I think that's why they're rather, can you go? If he can go, they'd rather have him out there. We'll see if that continues. And of course, he has a break coming up. As far as the 49ers, Jay, and Lorenzo's not the first one who's made this point, I don't believe, but a lack of experience. I know the Chiefs have won Super Bowls, but the 49ers have no shortage of big game experience.
Absolutely.
It's just they haven't actually won a Super Bowl, but they've won a lot of big games.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I don't know if we can. I'm not putting that on my list.
No, it doesn't make my list, but I think it kind of goes back to what a lot of folks are talking about.
Yes.
You start to get to is preparation, being prepared, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Which falls on the coaching staff.
Yeah. Like I said, Lorenzo's not the only one saying that. We got to take a quick timeout. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. See you out there. We appreciate the calls, and we will get to them here. And as promised, we'll look at some of these numbers that have to do with the 49ers roster crunch going forward as we roll on the day after a tough Super Bowl loss. Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-5795. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
With your choice of select sandwich, nugs, fries, and a drink, Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag is your go-to. Your nugget wingman. Your hot and crispy fry co-pilot.
Just like us. We're like the bag boys.
What?
Bag boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when we bring your food?
For a deal you can count on, bet on Biggie and choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Bag boys.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes choice of JBC or crispy chicken sandwich with 4-piece nugs, junior fry, and small soft drink. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
Welcome to the President's Day sale, happening now at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Celebrate with us and get huge savings on our giant selection. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's L1 report.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications, like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. you're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
At the 49ers got yesterday after the game, Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, and one of the questions maybe as a 49er fan, if you are one, maybe you've asked yourself is, well, now what? What do they do in the offseason? It was interesting hearing players talk about, well, you go back to work. You just find a way to deal with the pain. Bosa said it comes at you in waves. It's tough for the 49ers going forward as far as, it's sports and you get over it. But just real quick here before we get back to the phones, Albert Breer had a real interesting look at their contract situation. So they have 8 players on contracts worth $15 million per year or more. So let's see here. I'm rounding off some corners here. So you got 8 aforementioned players combining for about $198 million in cap charges next year. You add on Brandon Ayuk's fully guaranteed 5th-year option, that jumps to about $212 million. Anyway, the cap next year expected to land between 240 and 245. So that would mean that the 49ers would have to fill the other 44 spots on the roster for between 28 and 33 million, which is like less than $1 million a player for 44 spots on the roster, which is impossible. So obviously they're going to have to restructure again. That's what they do. That's how they got to this point with the talent they have. But my understanding, Jay, with those things, restructures, it's like balloon payments. At some point, you got to pay them down the road.
Yeah.
You keep kicking them down the road. But at some point, you get to a point where you got to go, we can't keep DeForest Buckner. You get to those types of.
Which I sure wish we would have.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't need him. You got Javon Kinlaw.
Yeah, I got you. All right. Kinlaw had a great game yesterday. He played very well. And most people believe he had his best season this year.
Yeah.
Albeit, it's his last year on a rookie deal. And sometimes it takes people a little bit of time, but they won't be able to hold on to Kinlaw next year because he'll require a little more money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I give him credit for working through all that.
Yes.
At least to this point.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But it's just tough. And then the thing that concerns me is just like I said earlier, so many of these players, these stars like Trent Williams and like CMC, who's a running back. Running backs get punished, right? They just do. And Kittle and even Bosa's had some injury issues. These guys, being Debo, there's a lot of injuries. These guys, it takes a toll. The physical way they play, it takes a toll.
Sure.
And in some ways, I think their bodies may be older than their birth certificates say they are.
Especially when you keep playing in the postseason.
Yeah, exactly.
Is one of the guys that I think they're going to make a move on next year, and he's a fan favorite, and he got hurt yesterday. I don't think Dre Greenlaw is going to be around. From what I know, they really, really like the 2 backup linebackers that they have, meaning D. Winters and Graham. And it seems like they're really in love with Graham. And so, now that the Keeleys is there, and that'll probably move into next season. Greenlaw next year will be his last year on this deal. I would imagine he's looking for top flight linebacker money. He's probably going to be a person that may see the end of his 49er, years come at the end.
Yeah, and let's face it, sports medicine we know is advanced now, but there's a chance he's never going to be the same player, and I'm not wishing that on anybody.
Yeah.
But, you can only come back so far when you're playing freaking linebacker in the NFL. Man. I wish him all the best, but we'll see. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Billy joins us on Sactown Sports. Hello, Billy. What's up?
How you fellas doing?
We're hanging in there. It's just Whitey and Jay today, and Jay was there. Drape's joining us. He joined us from Phoenix earlier, back with us tomorrow. How are you today, Billy?
I'm good, man. I'm just heading home. I wanted to say thank you to the 49ers Nation for Mr. Kubiak. I'm a Saints fan, and hopefully Derek Carr ain't got to hold on to the ball as long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to mention that I saw just as like a neutral person, right? The game was clean on the referee side pretty much the whole way through.
Yeah.
I thought they let him play. The first two drives, you saw it. It was like, oh, wow, this is going to be physical. And there wasn't a ton of laundry. It was a good game, start to finish, and they called the ones that they needed to for sure, as far as I saw. But, I respect the officiating at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you for the call. We talked about that last week, the fact that Bill Vinovich, that's a different crew than he had during the regular season because it's like an all-star crew for the Super Bowl. But he's got that reputation. He lets him play. And that's another thing that made the penalties on Trent Williams early on so frustrating. Like, they didn't even want to call penalties yesterday.
Right. Yeah, I think there were, and here I go, sounding like, tainted 49er fan. I think there was some holds, missed on the defensive line when it comes to from KC's offensive line. But I actually agree with Billy. And let me correct Billy one time real fast because he's not part of the 49er empire. We're not a nation. The 49ers, no 49er nation. We're 49er empire.
Yeah.
The faithful.
Yeah.
But I agree with Billy. I'm 100% just about with him. I thought they played. They let them play. I'm all about playing physical football. And there was a couple times, like there were a couple big hits. Like Ray held on to one. He came across the middle and got absolutely blasted. And they didn't call it. That's football.
Right.
I like that.
They did call the horse collar and on Purdy.
Yep.
And that was like, that was an obvious call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if there was a penalty, and I said Friday that whoever loses is going to they're going to complain about the officiating because they're not going to call much. But that was wrong. They didn't call much, but there's no complaints.
Yeah, I think Billy's spot on with that. I'm rocking with Billy.
Yeah. You didn't see because you were there. Dumb question. At halftime on the CBS show, Boomer Esiason was going on about that Juwan Jennings pass to McCaffrey and said that shouldn't have been a legal play because he said Brendel was a illegal player downfield.
Okay.
But he wasn't.
Okay.
He said ineligible player downfield. He was wrong. I don't know where, some people go, where did Boomer Esiason get that? That was not correct. It was a legal play.
You know how it is. He's hurt. He feels the same way because his Bengals got jumped on for a couple of years by the 49ers in the 80s.
Is that what it is?
He's hurt, Whitey. Everybody but the Kansas City Chiefs today is hurt.
Yeah.
And Pat Mahomes fans.
Yeah. And then a lot of people were not happy with Tony Romo's game yesterday either. So.
I know that. Was it that bad? Was it what? And going into this week, there was a lot of whispers that, Tony and Jim Nance haven't been on the same, one accord. And it sounds like, I saw a couple people tweet this out, a couple days ago, or excuse me, yesterday. It was like, sounds like, CBS had a discussion with Tony and he's not jumping on Jim's calls. And what was your take on it? Because see, one thing about it, Whitey, is for me, you're right down the middle. I think you call it like you see it.
Yeah. I have the sound. I didn't have it on that loud. And more, I have the sound down when I'm watching a game.
I got you.
But I really didn't have an issue with it. It was interesting to read today that there was I remember one of the low snaps, and Mahomes had a low snap, and then, and he ended, I think, through an incompletion. And I guess Tony Romo said, well, that's really uncharacteristic of the center. And Chiefs fans are going nuts. They're going, he does that all the time. What are you talking about? And so people were saying he doesn't do his research.
Well, I ain't watching the film.
Yeah. There was another complaint that at the end of the game, the winning touchdown, that Romo kind of jumped on Nance and should have let the moment just, stand. I didn't know, to be honest, I didn't notice that at the time. But, I was really not, I didn't care what the announcers were saying at that point. It's like, oh, right. Man.
Who cares?
Yeah. Josh, Sactown Sports, joining us here. Hello, Josh.
Hey guys, how you doing today?
Good. What can we do for you is the question.
Well, my part of my voice, I'm a Chiefs fan, so I went a little crazy. Sorry, Jay.
That's all.
At least you declare it out in the open.
I respect it.
Yeah, you're
kind of like someone.
Yeah, good for you.
But no, man. Honestly, 49ers they impressed the hell out of me, man. their offensive line was able to handle, our defensive line and the blitzing that we've been getting through on with everybody all year long. Your guys' D-line was doing really, really well. I was especially very impressed with Bosa, how he was modifying the way that he was rushing based off of how Mahomes was reacting to the stuff. I mean, honestly, the only thing that really screwed you guys was your secondary. I was very impressed with Purdy, and I mean, honestly, Niners fans, don't keep your head down at all. You guys played a hell of a game, and honestly, I honestly truly believe that if Greenlaw doesn't get hurt, there's a different outcome to that game.
Look at that, Josh. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate that very much. To your point about how the 49ers handled the blitzes, there was, let's see, Brock Purdy, pardon me, it took me a moment to find this. Brock Purdy faced 9 unblocked pressures.
Talk about it, man.
9. So that means like, look out.
Yep.
Yeah. Fire. Here he comes. There's no one helping. And he didn't throw. He got sacked for a couple times. No interceptions. So I think a lot of that was Brock Purdy. I mean, he's really good when you blitz him, whether it's finding a way to complete the pass or just knowing I got to get rid of it. Yeah,
I agree. I didn't. Josh said he wasn't. He said that our defensive backs didn't impress him, and he felt that was the weakness. I didn't really see that. What do you think about that?
Well, there was the deep pass, and then there was the
that was
some of those
Gibson.
third downs. There was a crossing route. As your buddy Dante Whitner was not happy,
with
the way the 49ers defending a
which one though?
Route
was it the Kelsey crossing route or was it the?
No, I don't think so. And I forget now, but I think he was saying they just didn't communicate. Secondary didn't communicate.
Okay,
and I think that could have been worse. I think that was something that the Chiefs probably thought, oh, we will feast on their secondary. And they really weren't able to because of the job that Bosa and company did. They did a pretty good job getting pressure. Mahomes there a few times when he had time. There was when he got back and he did get set and he started, you could see he's getting ready for a shot. I was like, no. And then
get him off his mark.
And then he'd have to tuck it under and scramble or something. But he didn't get a lot of clean shots downfield yesterday.
No, what really impressed me is Jair Brown.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of, pub for him coming into the season. Of course, you got Talanoa who's an all-pro, and Gibson, who played so well last year that they really couldn't move on him this year. But I think that's the necessary step for now is probably Gibson. Gibson's probably going to walk away, and you'll see Jair take the next step and start right there. But I really thought he played well.
He did.
I thought he was all over the field. I thought he played free safety pretty well, and they mix them. The 49ers mix and match their safeties, which is playing the zone. You sometimes you get 2 over the top in the zone, over the top zone. But I really was impressed with his lateral movement. I thought he was aggressive in a lot of times when he came and made tackles. He was pretty sure-handed when he tackled some folks. I thought he played well, and I'm hoping that infuses next year. And he's played well for the 49ers, but I thought it's Brown's time now.
Yeah, well, especially given that, if everyone was healthy, he's not the guy they would have.
He wouldn't even be playing.
That's really impressive.
Right.
You go that far down the depth chart, like, nah, we're good. And that when he intercepted that pass, I thought 49ers are going to win. That's when I thought, wow. And then they couldn't even score. Yeah.
Holding penalty.
I'll take a quick timeout. Get right back to your calls. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Putting together our list, not of who to blame necessarily, but where the 49ers lost the game. Let us count the ways as we roll on here with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sactown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for 3, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Getting your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt can lead to some spirited reactions.
Jackson Hewitt!
Jackson Hewitt is so sure that you'll get your biggest refund that if they don't, you get your money back plus $100.
Jackson Hewitt!
And Jackson Hewitt also guarantees the accuracy of your return for life.
Hewitt!
So don't just sit there. For your biggest refund guaranteed, walk into a Jackson Hewitt today and dance out Jackson Hewitt!
This year, Dell Technologies wants to help you do amazing things with their best tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors, and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
I don't know. You consider that the 49ers now, it's been 30 years almost, 29, I think, since they last won a Super Bowl. And you look at how heartrending some of these recent losses in not only Super Bowl games, but NFC title games have been over the last, I don't know, going back to 2012. And maybe it's nothing more than a good old-fashioned curse. You know, maybe just something having to do with the fact that they moved the franchise out of San Francisco. I don't know, but it's just fascinating to me. You know, you look at the history of pro football, and the 49ers stood for this, and they were Super Bowls, and now the 49ers are, let's be honest, last few years, like 49ers are one of those teams that just loses in really heartbreaking fashion. They're not bad, but they can't get over the hump, and they're gonna break your heart. Just when you think they're going to win it. Maybe next year's the year they bust through. I thought this was the year. All signs were this is the year they bust through, Jay. Didn't happen.
Man, I've been saying that for 10 years. This is the year that they do what they're supposed to do when we need to do.
But they had like you said, they had the quarterback that he lied, that Shanahan likes, and you got your defense you still had big-time playmakers and Hargrave, and then, you know, CMC, not going to be the spry CMC forever, but he was this year. This was it. And turns out it wasn't. Almost was.
Almost.
Uh-huh.
Horseshoes.
Yeah. Before we get back to the phones, on the text line here from the 916, let's see here. Kinlaw can go when he gets paid. He's going to get worse. Last team to beat the Chiefs was the Raiders. Good for you, Raider fans are having a field day today.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But why, though? Because one of your arch rivals won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know. Because they beat it. Their last team to beat them. And
means nothing.
Let's see. From the 916, all these wannabe coaches are making me sick. 2 unblocked blitzes were the ones that hurt us the most on third downs. Refs let them play, not calling holds, but they called it on 49ers at critical times and missed big ones on KC. I know it's old to complain, but as close as the game was, I'm saying it, we were the better team and should have won. I'm not mad, but very sad for our team. Chris the Mom.
Yeah, I mean, the holding penalties I can hear, you know, we've heard it a million times. You can call holding on just about every play, right? But if there were a few where it's like, yeah, that was a hold. It was truly, though, very, very truly, the 49ers they could have capitalized on one of the two things. The one that I guess the real hold that came about was the wide open shot, and I can't remember who it was Debo or Ayuk or somebody, where Purdy threw it across the whole first, I think it was first or second quarter, threw it way across the field, and they called the hold on Trent Williams. And that's the one I really remember. And it was a hold, though. Trent held him. You know, he got beat.
Yeah. The 49ers did benefit from was an incompletion on third down. They were going to have to punt. They got a defensive hold call in the third or fourth quarter.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Yeah.
But the incompletion to, I know it's not the one you're talking about, but Debo in the end zone, it's like, that was the one I was like, that is so much like the Emmanuel Sanders play.
Yes.
Football gods, why are you doing this to me?
There was another second quarter. Ayuk, Purdy thought Ayuk was going to the post. Ayuk kind of streaked right up the middle.
Yeah.
And he was wide open.
Yeah.
And Purdy threw the post, and Ayuk kept going down. I'm like, just here we go.
Yeah. There's somebody here who agrees with you, Jay, on Purdy and the offense. This offense, to be able to take that next step, Brock has to be given a little more control. He has proven that his IQ is above average.
I agree.
You may be right. That's 831. It's just not going to happen. It's never going to do that.
Right. I you know what, though? And why do you tell me if I'm wrong here? as much as Shanahan has been deemed, boy wonder, the great play caller, all these different things, aren't we coming down to a point, and here I go again, because this is our region, this is our team here on Sac Sports 1140, and because you are a 49er, but doesn't it seem like every season we're questioning Shanahan a lot now?
Yeah.
Or is it because I'm in the middle of it, kind of like one of our callers where I said, look, you're here, so you're going to hear a little more of that. But to me, I just feel like there's numerous times throughout the season, even in wins, where it's like, oh, okay, I don't know where Shanahan was going right there.
Yeah, but it's because they haven't won the Super Bowl,
Because he hadn't got over the hump.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and we can't help it. We're disappointed. We're looking for reasons why. What's the common thread in these losses? Well, Shanahan was the coach in a lot of these, and they weren't quite good enough. And it is, like I said, you and I disagree, and I probably disagree with most of the people listening. I don't think Shanahan's play calling was one of the problems yesterday. I wouldn't put it on my list, but there's no doubt those three and outs in a row, like the genius in the Super Bowl, and his offense did that. I give more credit to the Chiefs defense. And I think once they started playing more man-to-man, Brock Purdy couldn't find open guys. But, I mean, that's obviously very fair to question the offensive genius when that happens. Chris joins us here on Sactown Sports, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Hello, Chris. What's up?
Hey, guys. What's happening?
You know what's happening. Licking our wounds. That's what's happening.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm a Raider fan, but
are there any 49er fans? Go ahead.
Hey, I hear a lot of people complain about, I can't watch the game and all that type of stuff. I just like football in general. A lot of people complaining about Shanahan, his play calling, that type of stuff, and he struggled throughout his years. When it comes down to it, players got to make plays. Sometimes play calls can be what it is, but, lining up properly, doing the right thing, players just got to make plays when it comes down to it in a big situation like that. It's a huge game. Mahomes is big time, but I mean, I thought the Niners had it. To pull for somebody, I got to pull for the Chiefs. But
who's your favorite team?
He's a Raider fan.
Oh, he's a Raider fan.
I'm a Raider fan.
I don't get that.
I don't
Why?
either.
Explain that.
Why would you pull? And it, bless you. We're not going to, make fun of you. But why would a Raider fan?
No, speak for yourself.
Well, I know. I'm just trying to, soften them up. Why does a Raider fan pull for the Chiefs over the 49ers?
Because if Oakland could provide a stadium, it all comes down to money, so they would stay. So I got to stay with. I'm not a Las Vegas Raider fan. I'm an Oakland Raider fan. And so, I know the Chiefs are our biggest rivals and everything like that, but I grew up, I'm a California person. I grew up in the Sacramento area, all that type of stuff. It just, when it comes down to it, I can't pull for the other Bay Area team.
All right. You're not the first Raider fan who's told us that today. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that.
Makes no sense, man.
I'm with you.
It's a regional
thing.
thing.
There's a couple, and there's just everybody. I'm a Saints fan. I'm a Dolphin fan. I'm a Raider fan.
Yeah, and I'm all rooting for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Sounds like the 49ers got a few more haters than I ever thought.
Lambert, here's a good 40. That's a great 49er fan name, right? Lambert, who's your favorite team?
Well, I'm a 49er fan.
Yeah, of course you are. Thanks for calling. What's up? What are you making yesterday?
Well, first of all, I come from a winning tradition from Grant High School and also Boise State.
Wow.
And so what I saw was you have to execute no matter what. A lot of people didn't give Kansas City credit. They played in the coldest game first. Then they had to go to Buffalo where they were getting hit with snowballs, and they still got that W. And then they had to go to Baltimore and win there. So they were battle tested. So it didn't matter what came at them. It came down to the 49ers 3 points, and the Chiefs went down there and got 6. And that's how it ended.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to the 49ers, but you got to give it to the Chiefs. They went and got it done. That's it for me.
Thank you, Lambert. Yeah, it speaks to that kind of that winning culture. He said he's from winning traditions. The Chiefs reminded me of like the San Antonio Spurs yesterday, the great Spurs teams that won championships, and they just knew what to do when the game was on the line. It's like, okay, you watch, it was like they already knew what to do. They didn't need to have a timeout, talk to the coach. They just knew. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We'll get back your phones when we come back. Get more from Jay on what it was like to be there yesterday, and we'll look at the legacy game, who gained, who lost legacy points in yesterday's Super Bowl. To Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Skies will stay partly cloudy through the night tonight. Lows will drop down into the upper 30s to about 40. Tomorrow, look for partly cloudy skies with highs around 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA 3 app.
The recent storm has caused dangerous driving conditions for us. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down. Be alert and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
Get ready for an exciting drive in the 2024 Kia Forte GT line, now at Elk Grove Kia for just $19,988. Experience efficiency with an impressive 39 mpg, smooth rides with automatic transmission, and stay on track with a lane departure warning system for only $19,988. Enjoy modern conveniences with its huge 10.25-inch touchscreen with navigation and a rear camera, Bluetooth wireless technology, and the ease of push-button start for only $19,988. Or lease this incredible ride with no cash out of pocket for only $279 per month plus tax. You heard right. No money down and only $279 plus tax. Elk Grove Kia, where driving dreams come true. Visit us today in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovekia.com.
Sale price $20,738. Dealer choice rebate $750. Net price $19,988. Must finance through Kia Finance 5 at this price. 24 monthly zero cash down. Residual of $63,950 based at 10K per year. 20 cents a month over zero security deposit. Kia Tier 1 approval required. Expires 2/15/2024.
Elk Grove Kia.
RC Willey has everything for your home, including furniture, mattresses, appliances, electronics, and flooring. With our vast selection, it's easy to find items that fit your style and your budget. We also offer a variety of finance options, including 0 down and 0 interest for 18 months. Whether you're looking to establish new credit or ready to make your space more cozy, we can help. With our flexible finance options, you can easily update your home one piece or one room at a time. Plus, we have a low price guarantee. Let us help you make your home your way at RC Willey.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
With this when I do stuff that I didn't plan on doing or that I didn't do and second guess myself. And I'm proud of what we did today as a coaching staff and as players. In terms of we worked and we did everything that we planned on doing, we just didn't get it done. And any play that didn't work out, yeah, you always look at that stuff, but that's how every game is.
Red wine. We're not red and gold whining today. We're just trying to figure out what went wrong for the 49ers and why the 49ers under Kyle Shanahan still haven't won a Super Bowl, and why the 49ers still haven't won a Super Bowl since 1995. Can that be true? When the 49ers last won a Super Bowl, Jay, you know what everybody was singing to? It was like Hootie and the Blowfish.
Oh, no.
That cracked rear view was
Come on, man.
Just dominating. Remember that? Yeah. I don't want to be with you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Is that what the name of that song is?
No, that song is I Only Want to Be With You.
Okay. I was like, what?
Cracked Rear View was the album.
Okay.
And it had all kinds of hits on it. It had Time. I mean, it was a monstrous hit.
Would I be chastised if I say I've heard I only want to
I
be
only
with
want
you.
to be with you.
But I haven't heard any other song off that album. Probably.
I'll bet you have.
Okay.
And maybe I'm wrong.
Elevator music.
No,
Doctor's
they
office
were
music.
Well, how old were you in 1995?
1995. I would have been 11.
I'll bet you have. There's a whole bunch of hits on that album. Could be wrong.
Okay.
That's how long it's been. Before we get to the phones here on the text line, thank you. A Raider fan is explaining why they hate the 49ers and maybe we're rooting for the Chiefs.
Okay.
Simple. I'm a Raiders fan. I hate the 49ers. I was cheering hard for the Chiefs.
What?
It's the arrogance of the fans for me. You'd think they've won Super Bowls recently, win something, then be arrogant.
So, but you just don't care that the Chiefs are just
Chiefs.
Yeah, come on, man. That makes no sense. The only reason I could see a person rooting for the Chiefs is if you're a local, and I think one of our callers called locally, you don't have to deal with the Chiefs sensation because you're not in that area. You're here, so you hear about the 49ers. Let me tell you, Whitey, if the 49ers aren't in and it's the Seahawks and the Chiefs, I'm not rooting for either. I'm hoping for a storm to hit the stadium and no one wins. Like, I don't understand that I'm rooting for the Chiefs when the Chiefs been jumping on y'all back for 30 years. What do you mean? Y'all ain't won since 81, 83, 83, whatever it was.
You are natural enemies with the Chiefs.
Yes, man. I'm not rooting for nobody.
Like the mongoose and the cobra. It's like we're cats and dogs.
The mongoose and the
cobra. You're not getting along.
Ricky Tikki Tavi.
Yeah. It's like your nature. You're not supposed to get along
man,
under any circumstances.
I want a blackout.
Yeah. I mean, you're actually tinkering with the laws of nature.
Yes.
If you're a Raider fan, like, let's go Chiefs. I mean, that's
never. I'm not rooting for the Seahawks. I never root for the Rams. I don't care if the Cowboys got Green Bay. None of these teams. I'm not rooting for these guys because they play the Raiders. No.
339-1140, 1-800.
We not have a Super Bowl that year.
1140. See, in your scenario, by the way, I'm definitely pulling for the Chiefs over the Seahawks. But I understand. Tin has been hanging on. Hey, Tin, you're on the drive, guys. How are you?
Good. What the Niners can do moving forward. You know, they've been to the big stage a lot recently, just like LeBron James. You know, he wasn't perfect. Sorry, I'm at the auto mechanic shop.
That's all right.
LeBron's been to the big stage many times, but he didn't win the ring, right away. So with Brock Purdy, what they can do with him is just keep going forward, and eventually, man, who knows? He might sport a Super Bowl ring in the near future.
Well, thank you. That's the first time I've heard Brock Purdy compared to LeBron James. What do you think of that?
Yeah, 10 must be in hell in the fumes over there at the auto mechanic spot. 10. Let Brock win. And let me say this is part of it. I don't know if 10 is a 49er fan. Can you remember? Has 10 ever called in and said he's a Niner?
Not that I know of. I don't
is he a
think
bang?
Yeah. I don't think he's ever made a declaration over the other on that.
This is the thing. And this is why we're hearing these Raider fans talk about.
You're dead on about the fumes, though.
Yeah. Talking right, exactly. Talking about why they don't like Niner fans is because you have comparison. And this is what Draper says all the time. Stop comparing them to Montana and comparing them to, Tom Brady and the GOAT and all that. Yeah, I get it. But that's a lot of television. That's a lot of social networking. There are real 49er fans, and I'm not saying other 49er fans who comparing them to that, but they're 49er fans who we have a grip. We understand he's not Montana. Yeah. We understand he's not Tom Brady. We're not sensationalizing all of it, but he's a better quarterback than we've had. Why can't we pat ourselves on the back a little bit and have a little fun?
I'll say this about the Montana thing. I know I said that, and Kyle about had a fit.
Yeah, he flambasted you.
Brock Purdy reminds me of Joe Montana. I'm not saying he's better than Joe Montana. No. He may never be anywhere near as good. He's good, and when I watch him operate the 49er offense, that's what he reminds me of. Jimmy Garoppolo didn't remind me of Joe Montana.
No, far from.
Elvis Gerbach didn't remind me.
No,
or Alex
what about
Smith.
Tim Rattay? Okay.
Yeah, Tim Rattay. No, he didn't.
What about Drunken Miller?
When you think about that's a no. Unless I'm hanging out with Tin, then it's like, yeah. I kind of see it. Doug joined us here, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Hello, Doug.
Gentlemen, how are you?
Good. What's up?
Good. Yeah, I got a couple of things. when Jay was screening my call, I said, I wish Drapes was here right now because then I could go in and say, for one play, the last play of the game, Kansas City was better. Other than that, the score is very close. It wasn't a blowout. And also I told him, I said, how long was Andy Reid at Philadelphia and he didn't win before he gets to Kansas City? So when you get a chance to rib him a little bit, tell him Doug called, and that's what I said.
All right,
other
Doug.
than that, I'm done. Have a great show.
All right, thanks. I think we got to, other than that serape that he wore, there's not a lot of ththings we can make fun of Drapes for today, right? I mean,
No.
he finally was right. Well, if we're not going to lose to this team, no. They're going to lose this team, no. Going to lose to this team, no. Going to lose this team. All right, finally, you got one right. Right? So, but that's all right.
He took the field.
Yeah.
He took the field. Remember golf, we always said, Tiger of the field.
Yes.
And
yes.
he took, 49ers of the field. He took the field.
Rich joins us here, Sactown Sports. Hey, Rich.
Hey, fellas. Thanks for having me on. I actually just left Costco and
Bless
started listening to you guys as soon as I got on the turned the radio.
What'd you get at Costco?
So now I'm sitting.
What'd you pick up at Costco?
Well, the main thing I got was their chocolate-covered strawberries. Got a few ladies,
Valentine's Day.
got a few ladies in my life.
That's right. A few of them. I like where you're going there, Rich. Okay. A few of them. Don't tell them yourself. Hopefully they ain't listening here. One of them's your daughter. One of them's your daughter. We got it.
Hey, okay. You got it.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I'm listening to these guys talk, and especially these Raiders fans, they automatically hate KC, and I get it. But I'm not even going to say what team I root for. I had no dog in the fight yesterday. My wife, however, is a Niner fan. She watched
One
the
of the
game
ladies
upstairs, and I watched the game downstairs because I was not rooting for the Niners.
Rich, rumor has it you're a Rams fan. Can you confirm that?
Oh, hell no.
I just took a shot.
Hell no. Yeah, no.
I also see on this laundry list and maybe the Chargers.
Chargers.
I am not a West Coast football fan.
All right.
Okay.
I'll tell you if you want.
Well, it's
I
the
just didn't
Patriots,
intend
right?
to
It's the Patriots. It's got to be the Patriots.
No, I'm a Cowboys fan.
Oh, man. Okay. You okay. Go ahead, Rich. Respect. I got you.
Anyway, what I wanted to give my 2 cents on is the fact of the matter, I believe the Niners simply got outcoached. Andy Reid did some things that the Niners had no answer for, and offense and defense. And one of the things was that blitz that kept Purdy. He would have had a wide open receiver in the end zone, in the right side of the end zone, but there was a blitz and it threw him off. So they ended up kicking a field goal. But, the Niners are awesome. They were built to win the Super Bowl. The moves they have made have been brilliant over the last season, this season. And, you got to admit that Mahomes put the game on his back, put his team on his back.
He did.
At the end. But throughout the game, the Chiefs are the ones that made the adjustments to keep in that game. And that's coaching.
Yeah.
That is all coaching.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And I'm sorry to say it, Niner fans, but your coach is brilliant. But when it comes down to it, he chokes.
Well, good luck with Coach McCarthy for another year, Rich. Thank you. Good to hear from you.
Don't do that. Don't tell me that.
Thank you.
And happy Valentine's Day to you and those women.
Yeah.
We need to make some changes, fellas.
All right.
All right. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me.
Yeah, thank you very much. We have, let's see, this is from another Raider fan. I'm sorry, we're getting a number of them here and they're jumping around. I apologize.
Go ahead. Do your thing, Mike.
Yeah. There's a really good one here from someone saying, I'm a Raider fan, and you can't root for the Chiefs. Can't be. Here we go. Raiders fan since '87, was absolutely pulling for the 49ers. Hate everything about the Chiefs, especially that. So that. I mean, to me, that's just like that's the natural order of things.
Yes.
Enjoy the game, however you want. Root for whoever you want to root for. But if you're a Raider fan and you root for the Chiefs, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Aren't you?
Yeah. I'm not rooting for anyone. I mean, you have to accept that someone's going to win. I get it again, but I'm rooting for a blackout. I'm rooting for a storm. I'm rooting for a lightning strike. I'm rooting for
blackout. That reminds us of the Super
I know.
Bowl.
I'm rooting for a lightning strike. That's what I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for a bad turf on the field. I'm not rooting for any team, but I have to accept that a team's going to win.
Yeah. Let's get Emmy on. She's been hanging on real quick. A Kings call, and we'll get back to more on the Super Bowl. Hello, Emmy. Thanks for hanging on. How are you?
Hey guys, good news. First of all, happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. I have bad news for Sasha.
Well, for Sasha, what do we have?
Out 4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks? What happened? What did you do to him, Emmy?
First of all, I didn't do anything. I don't know if you're aware. Yesterday he was listed out due to ankle, but I've heard from sources it happened during the training session.
All right.
On Saturday.
So something with his ankles?
Yeah, the same ankle. The same one.
Oh, boy. All right, Emmy. Yeah. Thank you
and go Niners. Bang, bang, Niners game for life.
There you go.
I watched the game in the halftime show, but I didn't like the halftime. I barely heard Arthur think. He was not that good.
All right. Thank you, Emmy. Appreciate that. And we'll get the confirmation on Sasha. And then we got to see what Jay, I know Jay talked about it earlier. Jay was there, what he thought of the halftime.
Emmy breaking news here?
She may have.
Okay.
I think she said on the chat or the text line her source was Sasha's dad. I think Deuce had something on that, so we'll try to track down the source of that information.
Bring Emmy in. She got sources to the father?
Especially with the Bang Bang 900 Gang for life. That's great, Emmy. Thank you. We'll wrap things up here with, again, a look at the legacy gains and losses from yesterday. Drive Guys, wrapping things up here on this Monday. Thanks for being with us today, Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 weather center. Skies will stay partly cloudy through the night tonight. Lows will drop down into the upper 30s to about 40. Tomorrow, look for partly cloudy skies with highs around 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA3 app.
The new year is here at Folsom Lake Kia. Shop my favorite dealer, Folsom Lake Kia, for low interest rates, low payment with zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia for over 25 years. Right here in Sacramento.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and me the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Jiffy Lube, your place for oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle Draper here for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Now, I took the half-hour drive to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, and I came home with the finest car I've ever owned. I'm rocking that brand new EQS SUV they outfitted me with, and it's stylish and so comfortable. I love Mercedes cars. Also, Mercedes builds amazing commercial vehicles. Now, if you own a business, Mercedes builds commercial vans capable of any job. And with special interest rates as low as 4.9% on new Sprinter vans, plus the available tax breaks on Sprinter vans for commercial use, choosing a Mercedes van is a smart move. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton has a huge full-service commercial fleet center. Go see my good friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Just a half-hour drive down I-5 from Sac, and it's online all the time at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, Drape's back with us tomorrow. We heard from Drapes earlier today. We had some connection issues with him in Phoenix, and he had just gotten in today, so it was great that he could make it on the air with us. But we had some issues, so he'll be back with us tomorrow as we'll get ready for the Kings and the Suns. So it's Jay, who was at the Super Bowl yesterday in Las Vegas, and Whitey, and thank you for being with us today. Interesting, we're hearing from a lot of Raider fans because we're wondering why so many Raider fans say they were rooting for the Chiefs, which doesn't make sense. From the 916 on the text line, I'm a Raiders fan, was pulling for the Niners because it's the F the Chiefs always. But I will say the first group of people to blow up my phone about the latest Raider tragedy bonehead move is Niners fans. They act like they're NFL royalty when they've just won as many Super Bowls as the Raiders have in the last 30 years.
I mean, the one thing about it is they are NFL royalty, though. You have to give that out. As much as you don't want to admit to it, like I don't want to admit the Dallas Cowboys are NFL royalty, but they are.
Mm-hmm.
You have to respect that.
Yeah.
You got to call a spade sometimes.
Because the history of the NFL does go back further than
30 years.
And that all counts too.
Absolutely it does.
Yeah. I'm a Raider fan since 1967. I used to cry when we would lose to the Chiefs, LOL. I also had the square with 2 for the 49ers and 9 for the Chiefs. So I was up to win $500 if the Niners could have stopped the Chiefs on their overtime drive. So the Chiefs and Mahomes break my heart once again.
Yes. Oh, nothing like losing money that's in the grasp of your hand. I think we're all we're all guilty of this. I try not to do this, Whitey, but sometimes you count the money before you have the money and like, I'm gonna do this with that, and I'm sad for
those
that.
Those are the hardest losses too as a sports fan, whether you have money on it or not. And there's been a number of these 49er losses where you couldn't blame fans for thinking we got this.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And then
absolutely,
when you get blown out, it's like, wow, that sucks. But yeah, oh well, it wasn't our day. But you lose a game that sometimes you lose a game where in your heart you think, I'm not gonna say anything, but we have this.
Yes,
we've won this.
Yes.
When you lose those can shake you up a little bit.
19. That's why I say for me, 19.
Yeah,
it was over.
It
was over, and you let them throw a deep bomb.
Yeah, I know I said this already, but to me, the moment where I thought the 49ers were going to win yesterday, it was early in the game to think this, but when the Chiefs came stumbling out to start second half, and then Mahomes threw that interception, it's like, Mahomes, that was a bad interception, and the 49ers are going to score at least a field goal here. I think this thing may be close to being over. It was not.
Nope.
It was not close.
They went backwards.
Yeah.
They didn't even get close to a first down. They went backwards.
Yeah. Yeah. Emmy was talking about Usher. She couldn't hear Usher very well.
Sure.
I know I asked you about it earlier, but you were there.
Yes, sir.
What was the show like being there live?
Oh, I thought it was amazing. And I believe, 99% of the people that were inside the stadium felt the same thing.
Sound was good and everything?
Yes. I mean, and the optics looked fantastic. They were and Golden One does this quite a bit, where they give you some form of a fashion of a wristband, a necklace or something, and it has lights to it, like LED lights, and it moves and grooves as the music does. It pulsates while the music and the bass and the hard lines hit. They had those there, with Usher's face on it, and it was on a necklace and all that type of stuff. I thought the halftime performance was one of the better ones that I've seen in my lifetime. I've seen bits and pieces where people have said, like, Alicia Keys didn't sound too well on television. She missed a few notes or
I didn't notice that, but yeah.
But I've seen that a few times. But as far as overall, I had the opportunity to see Usher last year. It was a wedding gift for me, for one of my best friends, and got to see him at his residency at the park. Yeah. And it was a fantastic show. One of the best concerts I've been to, and I've been to hundreds because of what I do. And I thought yesterday was just a sprinkle of that, like the guy skating around the stage, those type of things. I really enjoyed it. I truly did. I thought it was way better than Rihanna's. Way better.
Really?
Yeah, way better. Yeah.
Just more going on?
Yeah, a lot more going on, more fast paced.
Like those frames behind her or something, like everyone was a different song.
Yeah, I don't even really remember it too much, but I thought it was fast paced. I thought he had a good selection of songs out of his catalog, because his catalog is extensive. Right, come on now, you know that. And I thought it went well. He's an entertainer. He's an entertainer. The other one that didn't catch me by surprise, but I thought was just absolutely fantastic, Reba McEntire. I've never seen her in person. I know she's a legend. I understand it. That's not my cup of tea. That's not my genre of music, but I do know who she is. I've seen her sing before, but being there, it was beautiful. Just beautiful the way she sung.
I thought Post Malone did
a great job too.
That was America the Beautiful.
Yes. Yeah. And I text my daughter. I'm like, listen, I know Post Malone, the rapper. I know he's tried to transition, or I should say he has transitioned into singing, but I hadn't heard his voice. He was okay.
Yeah.
Like, man, impressive. Impressive.
Yeah. So you say it was mostly 49er fans there yesterday,
Yes,
right?
pro. Inside the arena, definitely pro 49ers. I was surprised throughout the city, the strip, so to say. I stayed in 2 hotels. I was up and down the strip throughout the whole week, and I saw a lot of Chiefs fans. A lot more than I thought, because of the proximity of where, the Bay Area, California to Las Vegas. But it must be some flights coming in one way straight from Kansas City, because there were a ton. It was just about, on the surface, equal, but inside and around on game day, 49ers easily.
Well, the subplots that are already set up now for next season after last night are incredible, right? Because you've got the Chiefs trying to become the first team ever to win 3 in a row, and who's to say they can't do it? This was not even for a Chiefs team. This year's team was not.
No.
Again, I'm saying compared to other Chiefs teams, I'm not taking anything away from them. They're the Super Bowl champions, but this wasn't a great Chiefs team. So why can't they, make a legitimate run at next year? And then for the 49ers, of course, it's again like Shanahan trying to get over the hump once again.
How about all these Raider fans who are tuning in? How about your Raiders stop the Chiefs, and then we won't have a problem with it?
Hello?
Right.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, we keep continuing hearing about why they're rooting for the Chiefs. How about you guys worried about beating the Chiefs?
Well, we did on Christmas.
Man,
yeah.
Wasn't nobody worried about that. They was opening gifts and eating cookies and milk and ham, and y'all worried about beating the Chiefs when they wasn't even worried about losing.
I'm a little surprised that we didn't end up with the 49ers and the Ravens, speaking of Christmas Day and the Super Bowl.
I know. Lamar Jackson, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
They got to step up.
What do you think yesterday did to Brock Purdy's legacy, and what do you think it did to Kyle Shanahan?
I think it helped Brock Purdy to get to the point to where most people believe he is a good quarterback, and we can kind of move forward in the fact of, like, he belongs. He belongs.
I thought he played really well yesterday.
I did too. I don't think he's going to be upper echelon, but he's definitely not, oh my goodness, Brock Purdy, can he get it done? Like, I think he proved. He went toe-to-toe with Pat Mahomes, and of course they don't play each other, but I think it helps him. I think Kyle Shanahan, it hurts. It hurts, man. Like, it's detrimental to who he is and where he wants to be and what most people believe and give him credit for. Yeah. I think if anyone yesterday took the biggest loss, it's him.
Yeah, I agree. It's totally unfair, but he right now is a coach that good coach, but he can't win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
No one wants to be that. And I know I'm the 15 millionth person to say this, but that was Andy Reid. But right now it's Kyle Shanahan.
Yes.
So next year, it's going to be tough for them to make another run without suffering a little bit of what do you call that? Where the opposite, they're going to digress a little bit. There's going to be regression.
There you go.
A little bit of regression. Yeah.
It's the next man up. LeBron won a championship and moved to Kevin Durant. Durant won a championship and moves to the next person. It's time for the 49ers to win, which means Shanahan.
Big offseason. You keep an Ayuk, giving him whatever he wants?
Yeah, for sure.
Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it. Yeah. We're back with you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Monday evening. Thanks for being with us right here on Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to
Try
catch
NyQuil
your
Severe Honey flavor. The nighttime, sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever, Honeylicious, best sleep